inviting you to come to each of our 4 amazing restaurants. At Marty B's, join us for an outstanding atmosphere of family, food, fun, and entertainment. Or join us at Rustico Wood-Fired Grill and Wine Bar for an intimate date night in a rustic, elegant setting. Looking for a taste of upscale Texas? Join us at 1845, where it's designed like Dallas but tastes like Fort Worth. Come experience amazing at all of our fine restaurants. And new this summer, put a pep in your two-step at Marty B's Coffee Co., right next to Marty B's restaurant. Look forward to seeing you there.
Park Place is proud to support Argyle High School and all you Eagles fans out there. You deserve to feel like a winner, whether you're cheering on your favorite team or shopping for your new favorite car. And at Park Place Lexus Grapevine and Land Rover DFW, you'll enjoy a fully customized luxury dealership experience that'll make you feel like the MVP. So head over to your nearest Park Place dealership or visit parkplace.com and see what makes them the experts in excellence.
This Scouting Report segment is brought to you by Park Place, and on our Park Place phone line right now is the head coach of the Lovejoy Leopards, Chris Ross. Hello, Coach. Thank you for your time.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
So let's begin with your victory last week against College Station. And this game was played in the Tom Landry Classic, and I know that meant a lot to Coach Rogers for him to get to coach in a game with Tom Landry's name on it. So I'm curious for you, did that ever cross your mind, and what did it mean to coach in a game like that?
Oh, my gosh, yes. You know, I'm old enough that I grew up in, you know, where Tom Landry and Roger Staubach and all those guys those were our idols. And just the game and what it is and what it's meant, you know, and they do it as a charity to raise money for cancer. And Chris Cumnock is the guy that's really orchestrated that, and for the past 24 years has run that game. It was an honor for Lovejoy in our community to be a part of it again.
Yeah, I would imagine. I know it was always special for Argyle to get to play in that game as well. So I think you may have seen this year coming, because you got an all-world linebacker, you've got an all-world wide receiver, your quarterback is fantastic. Some coaches can see a year like this coming. Do you have special expectations for this team this season?
You know what? We do every year. And I mean, just like Argyle does. And every year is a unique and different challenge. And the biggest challenge is, will you be a team or not? Just because you have the same uniform doesn't mean you believe and trust in each other. And that's something that has to be developed, and you can hope for it. You can teach it, you can preach it, but they have to do it. And so we're still in the phases of figuring out, are we going to be a team this year? And if they do, they can do some special things. Last year's team was a solid group, you know, but the other piece of a football team that's just a real unfortunate part of the game is injuries. You know, and we won that game last year, and then probably about second quarter of your game versus Argyle, we were really never the same team. We just got devastated with injuries, and so we have to stay healthy. And if we do, these guys could be really good.
This is Chris Ross, Lovejoy Leopards head coach, with us in the YourNewDoor.com pregame show. So, Coach, you got to Lovejoy in 2020. This is now your 4th season as head coach at Lovejoy. The freshmen you had when you got there are now your seniors. And I would imagine a really cool part of your job is seeing kids grow up in your program. They get bigger, older, hopefully wiser. They just kind of grow into young men under your watch. So, you know, I've seen you've had a couple of kids that have played for you since their freshman year on the field action. So what's that like to see this process play out under your watch?
Oh, it's why we do it. It really is. For the most coaches, you know, we like football and we love developing men, not the other way around. Because that's really, you know, to a degree of football, this is our mission field. And it's our opportunity to work with these boys, these families, and just be a part of their life and help develop them and lead them in a way where they're going to go be successful, learning things through football, and they can equip themselves and move forward in life. And so, I mean, it's why we do it. It's so much fun. I was at the 7th grade B game last night, and this little kid, number 13 on our 7th grade B team, he made the tackle that won the game at the end of the game. And he rips his helmet off and is like just flexing his muscles. And it was awesome. And the joy on that kid's face and the whole team, it was just incredible. And it's a 7th grade B game, and it made my whole day. Watching those kids celebrate and having fun together. And then just to know that, like, that little 13 and little 21 and those little kids, those guys are going to grow up and be Leopards before long, just like the ones I have on my team right now. And, you know, they may look like they're big guys in the stands. They're still boys. They're just boys. And it's so much fun to be around them.
Well, I would imagine when the number 13 gets to your varsity program, you're going to remind him to keep his helmet on during the game.
I just thought, and it was like the horn is sounding as the guy's running in for a touchdown, and 13 tackled him. And it was just fun watching that.
That's a really cool moment. I got 2 more questions for you, Coach. I want to talk about Sam Reynolds, because I understand you have quite the kid. In Sam. He's one of your captains this year. He's the 2-time wrestling champ. He's unable to play right now, but I understand he's battling his way back. I've heard he hasn't lost any weight during this time, which is amazing. But what's it been like for you to watch him fight his way back to the field? And do you expect him to suit up anytime soon?
Oh, I absolutely expect him to suit up. You know, he's one of the best competitors I've ever been around in my life. He has just such a maturity about him and a strength. And, you know, first time I met him, that's what stood out to me. He's just kind of an old soul. And it's so funny, just those things that make him different have equipped him to handle a challenge that would break most people. And it never broke him. You know, he goes in to the doctor because he's not feeling well, and then immediately is in the hospital having chemo. And to see how he and his family, how they handled it, is just, man, it's inspiring. They are tremendous people, he and his family. And to watch our community just throw their arms around that family and our school district, and the way they did everything they could to ease that burden as much as possible. But that was Sam's battle to fight, and he absolutely did it.
Those unfamiliar with what Sam's going through, he had leukemia, and hasn't lost anything. It's been incredible to watch him fight. I saw him walk out for the coin toss the other night, and I know it's going to be a special moment for you and the community when he does suit up again. One final thing for you, Coach. I'd like you to tell us a little bit about your team. I know, you know, there's an Ohio State kid defensively, Texas kid offensively, but that's just on the field. Who are some of your leaders off the field, and what is it like to coach these gentlemen off of the field?
I've got a bunch of characters on this team. They're fun. You know, they enjoy each other. You know, well, I was telling you, I was at the 7th grade B game, and I look up and I've got about 15 varsity football players standing on the sideline.
Wow.
And they came to the game. And one of them had a little brother on the team. And so everybody came to root on his little brother. That tells you the kind of team I have with these guys. They're just fun. You know, as far as standout players, you know, we have a couple of standout players, but you and I both know the teams win. Teams win. And, you know, Parker Livingston had one of the best games I've ever seen a receiver have. And that guy's incredible. I mean, what an awesome person. But Dalen McCutcheon, before the year's out, is going to have the exact same kind of game. And our running backs are solid. We've got, you know, Fry is an offensive lineman who's one of just an incredible person and a great leader. And Hondo Franklin at quarterback. You know, we could talk for 30 minutes on that kid. You know, just the character that he has and shows. And Nick Perez on defense, and Mason Dragoo. You know, we've got a sophomore kid, Jalen Lott, he's going to be special. He's a really, really good player. Chase Bogle, our middle linebacker, he's a 3-year varsity guy. He's playing extremely well right now. And I like this team. I like our group. You know, you have good teams, and sometimes you have good teams that are fun. And right now, this is a good team that has fun together, and they're fun to coach.
Well, I would imagine it's a ton of fun for you, not just on Friday nights, but during the week as well. Coach, I know these are really busy weeks, but I greatly appreciate your time. Safe travels to Argyle, and best of luck to you and your boys on Friday night.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Coming up next in the YourNewDoor.com pregame show, We hear from Coach Rogers and his keys to victory before Argyle takes on Lovejoy. That's up next, brought to you by the Argyle Eagles Booster Club.
Buying or selling a home is likely your greatest investment. Lori Jacobson and the Legacy Group believe in making the process easy and simple for your family. Whether you're moving into your forever home in Argyle, need help remodeling or staging, or are a first-time buyer, Lori's dedicated to making sure all of her clients walk away from the transaction satisfied. She has a saying that you walk in as a client, but you leave as a friend. So it's no secret why she's been named Best Real Estate Agent by D Magazine yet again. Lori Jacobson encourages all the Argyle Eagles to leave a legacy both on and off the field. Go Eagles!
A trusted community staple for over 15 years, Rapid Med Urgent Care is more than just an urgent care. From well checks to minor emergency care, our goal is to keep you well or get you feeling better sooner. We also now offer Rapid Wellness, providing therapeutic IV infusions, injections, weight loss options, and allergy testing and treatment. Walk-ins are welcome, or visit rapidmed.com and book your visit today. Rapid Med Urgent Care, your hometown emergency care doctors with Texas-sized hearts and proud supporters of our Argyle Eagles.
When you lost to Abilene Wiley, and that was also your last loss at home. So it's been a while since you've been 0-1, but you've seen the tape. What are some of your takeaways in the loss to Melissa?
Well, obviously we lost to a superior team, a team that's seasoned, had a strong playoff run last year. I'm not crying over spilt milk or sour grapes or anything like that. The reality is we have a very young team. I knew that going in, and the expectations are that we show strong improvement every week. We work through the process of learning football at the varsity level, learning how to be competitive on Friday night, and it's going to be just a process. And we're hoping to make things better this week and try to get better as well.
In talking to Coach Nally before the game, the past 2 years they've started 0-2, and he was very nonchalant about it. He says non-district is just Halloween. You play dress up, and at the end of the day, it doesn't really mean a whole lot. Is that your feeling? I mean, being 0-1 is unfamiliar territory, but really it doesn't really affect any sort of playoff seeding. So are you just looking at it as, trying to improve through a loss?
To some degree, you're right. I would rather learn through success.
Yeah.
I think there's some validity in an athlete rising to the occasion, trying to push themselves to the max and put themselves out there as an athlete to compete at the very highest level. It is what it is. I'm gonna play the armchair quarterback and say there's something to be extrapolated from failure, trying to get better. I usually don't live in that space, but after the fact I can. The fact is that we've got to make a decision as a football team. Certainly it's not, I'm only willing to do whatever the seniors want to desire. So we had a senior meeting this week to reiterate our goals and establish the mindset that we're going to need going forward. Just the fact is that we've got to refocus and put our mind back in the positive gear and get ready to play Friday night because there's another game coming around. So we've done that. And we've met that challenge, and we've had 2 really good practices. We've had some injuries that have kind of appeared their ugly head from Friday. So we're going to have some more new players on the field this week. But that's about building a stronger, deeper roster and positioning ourselves for a strong playoff run. So none of our goals have changed. We've never had a goal to have an undefeated season. So our goals are very much intact, and we're working towards the achievement of those goals.
What did you like in the game against Melissa?
I really liked some of the things that we did. I thought our defensive line probably performed at a much higher level than was anticipated by a lot of naysayers that follow our program. And I thought we played well at times in all the positions. So with that being said, I can optimistically state we're not that far away. There's a lot of work ahead of us, but it's closer than what the score would indicate. There was some silly mistakes that allowed touchdowns, You're never going to play perfect. You just have to string together a bunch of really good plays. And I think we had some lapses with some of the things in there. And we lots of coachable moments, and we've taken advantage of all those moments to coach really hard this week and get the kids all on the same page.
This is Coach Rogers with us in the YourNewDoor.com pregame show. To me, it looked like, in talking about your quarterback position, it looked like a new John Gailey back there. And I know it, may not light up the scoreboard or the stat book, but he seemed composed. He knew when to put some touch on his passes. And just to me, the eyeball test, I thought he looked really good back there. How did you grade him?
I think we're throwing and catching the ball as good as we have since 2020. I think we're on the same page. There's good, big, fast, physical receivers that are getting open, and we're able to distribute the ball around the field. It's just a matter of fact is executing on more consecutive plays. The first two drives were solid, poised. We matriculated down the field and attacked the end zone, and we found it to be difficult as the game progressed. And so, that means Melissa was able to make an adjustment, and we weren't. And so we got to work on that as a coaching staff, and we've got to work on that as a football team.
Back in 1 minute with Coach Rogers and his keys to victory right after this.
This is Billy Klein. DFW Door Repair was repairing, restoring, and replacing doors in houses all over town when a couple of guys from Austin showed up and said, "Billy, we need to take this nationwide." I said, "I don't know how to do that." They said, "We do." And that's how YourNewDoor.com was born. I'm telling you this in case it all works out and we become a big deal nationwide. You'll be able to say, "I was there the day it was born." Billy and Jennifer help sponsor our ball games. Check it out, YourNewDoor.com.
407 Barbecue is a proud supporter of the Argyle Eagles. Named the very best barbecue in all of DFW several times over, 407 Barbecue offers an array of award-winning smoked meats, including mouth-watering brisket and ribs. No plate is complete without one of their world-famous sides and a bowl of Grandma's banana pudding. Family owned and operated by your neighbors right here in Argyle. See their menu and catering options online at 407bbq.com or see for yourself at I-35W exit 407. 407 Barbecue.
All right, back in the pregame show with Coach Rogers as we preview tonight's game against Lovejoy. And Coach, last year was a very high-scoring game last year in Lucas, especially there in the first half. What kind of team is Lovejoy going to bring to Argyle Stadium this time around?
They're traveling a very talented athletic team. Most of their skill positions offensively have been recognized across the nation as top college prospects. People from Power 5, Group of 5, Division II schools have rolled in through Lovejoy to evaluate their talent. So we're seeing some very seasoned athletic players. So we'll have to be dealing with that at a very high level. They return an offensive line that does have some inexperience with it, but they're very talented. We've viewed them versus College Station, and they're very skilled and athletic. And then on the defensive side, you've got Ohio State commit Pierce, and then several talented kids in the secondary, and even a young one that is a two-way starter, a sophomore, that's playing wide receiver and defensive back for them. And so Jalen Lott. So with that being said, those kids are making huge contributions on both sides of the ball. So it'll be a tough endeavor facing the Lovejoy Leopards.
How often do you attack a certain position in a game plan? Because like you mentioned, there's a Ohio State kid at linebacker, there's a Texas kid at receiver. You don't see that every week. So I would imagine you're going to have something cooked up for them. But is that an every week thing of where you're trying to, hey, let's look out for this one player?
I would twist that in a positive note. We need to know where they are at all times. Mm-hmm. But we have sometimes when you have a really dominant high school player, you can take aggressive of a great technique. You can pull a lineman to get him to pull out of the position because he's so disciplined. Or you can, if he's real aggressive, you can go at him as a deceptive strategy, to throw a pass in behind him, some of those things. So we'll be utilizing every aspect of our offensive attack. to attack players at any given time. No different than we do every other week. We have a game plan to attack players, and the formations that we go to bat with are all strategized in that nature. Defensively, I think it's paramount that we know who the GoDaddies are, their primary wide receivers, obviously, good skill positions that are in the backfield and what they do during certain formations. So we practice the heck out of those all during the week so we can recognize them and respond to them, and then we have special coverages and special movements and blitzes that we use when they line up in those targeted formations.
That's Lovejoy. Let's talk about you. What are your Rapid Med keys to victory against the Leopards on Friday night?
Well, I think last year I probably would have never mentioned 1,700 yards of offense or whatever it was as a pliable outcome. But we were able to rush the ball last year. I think we were able to do it effectively. Peyton Pierce did not play in our game, and so I would like for us to still be able to run the ball, be physical up front, and then execute our passing game at a higher level than we were able to execute against Melissa. We have RPOs and good sound passing game. We just need to throw and catch and let our wide receivers try to go score, make them miss a tackle, and take it to the goal line. So I think for our offense to get out there and do the things that they do, more consecutive series in the game would be a goal that I would have for our offense. Defensively, I think that we've got to get them in predictable down and distances. When we're able to get the offense in predictable down and distances, that allows us to be more aggressive defensively. And there weren't very many snaps that we were able to be as aggressive as we need to be against Melissa. So I would like for the frequency of that to go up. And then, I've told you many times on this podcast is the number one predictor of success is a block kick or a block punt. And that didn't play in our favor this week. So we're going to do our dead level best to have a good, sound kicking game that's solid with punts and punt returns. And then, obviously our field goal extra point team last week was solid. But we failed to field a punt and turned it over, and then we had a punt blocked. So uncharacteristic for our team to have those take place. But we've worked on it immensely this week, and we're going to practice it again tomorrow. Try to get it right so many times we can't get it wrong, and hopefully fly through that aspect of our football game on Friday with some success.
Yeah, those were kind of the beginning of the snowballs there in the first and the second half.
Absolutely.
Well, Coach, I appreciate your time. Best of luck against Lovejoy, and go get them.
Thanks.
All right, one final break in the YourNewDoor.com pregame show kickoff just minutes away. This is Argyle Eagles Booster Club broadcasting.
This broadcast is made possible by the generous support of our corporate advertising sponsors who have enabled Argyle ISD athletic programs to achieve many exceptional accomplishments, including state championships in multiple sports and 10 straight Lone Star Cups. These sponsorships remain the primary source of funding for the Booster Club, which directs the expenditures towards Argyle athletics and clubs at the high school and middle school level. Your corporate sponsorship provides the best opportunity for our student athletes to reach their full potential here at Argyle ISD, and in return, we offer numerous advertising packages which fit your budget to brand your business with high visibility in the stadiums or right here on these airwaves. Do you want to be a sponsor and support the athletics here at Argyle ISD? Contact Brian and Shelley Stone at aebc.sponsorship@gmail.com to begin your support. Go Eagles!
Hey, this is George Dunham, reminding you to check out the Eagles Nest podcast every Thursday to get you ready for Argyle football's next game, with segments like the Scouting Report on Argyle's next opponent, the Player Spotlight, the Weekly Flyover with Coach Rogers, highlights from last week's action, and the Argyle ISD Eagle Update. Blake Jones and his crew promise to inform and entertain you on everything Argyle Eagles. Check them out and subscribe on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.
is our national anthem by the Argyle Band as the YourNewDoor.com pregame show is just about wrapping up as both teams on the field. Argyle, the home team tonight. Thank you so much for joining us, whether you're joining us on the radio side or YouTube. Blake Jones with Robert Hudgens alongside Clark McNulty is on the sideline. Argyle, the home team tonight, wearing their red tops, gray bottoms with red, white, and black stripe down the sides, white helmets for your home team Argyle Eagles. Lovejoy traveling in. Got the Ohio State look tonight with the silver top and silver pants with the white top and red numbers with the white and red on the side. But Robert, so glad you're joining us. Clark, we'll get to you here momentarily. But Robert, good to have you in the booth. You got to be excited. You got a good one tonight in Argyle and Lovejoy.
I tell you what, this is one of those matchups that you look forward to whenever they do come together because it's two powerhouse teams that over the last few years have come together. They've been contentious games, and it should be a fun one tonight, especially second game of the season. I loved what Todd Rogers said in the pregame is that you don't go into the season looking to be undefeated, but you look to improve each and every week. And I think Argyle's got their work cut out for them, and I think they can improve a lot in this Lovejoy team. So it'll be should be a fun one tonight.
Clark, it says 94 degrees. How does it feel down on the sideline?
Breeze and some shade over here, at least for the guys coming off to the sidelines. I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue for Argyle anyway, but Lovejoy is looking right into the sun.
The kick is up. Argyle is receiving as they won the toss and wanted the ball, and back to return. Up the middle is Will Grudzielanek, brought down by Ethan Nelson. And Argyle will have pretty good starting field position after a 25-yard return by Will Grudzielanek. Sets him up as your starters offensively up front. Tyler Roberts is your left tackle. Chanson Bowen at left guard. Carter Wilson is your center. Thor Johansson at right guard. Weston Cheney at right tackle. Your receivers, Will Grudzielanek, McGuire Gasperson, Will Hodson, Hunter McFall at tight end, Jake Kreckler at running back, and the man no longer under center anymore, really. John Gailey is the man, QB1 for these Eagles as they move from right to left across your YouTube screen or your radio dial. Thank you so much for being with us. Gailey back to pass, pump fakes. Now he's got to run out to the right. He's at the numbers, throws it, and his receivers leveled, and that will be incomplete as intended receiver was Will Hodson over there. Got shoved into the Lovejoy bench, but your first play from scrimmage for Argyle will be an incomplete pass.
You know, it's interesting. Like you said, he got shoved into that bench while that ball was in the air. I don't know what, if he tripped, they think he tripped or what, but now you see Devin Owens actually in the backfield, so it'll be exciting to see how he does back there. He's a beast of a runner.
Typically see him at safety. I don't know if I've ever seen him run the ball, and we'll see it here as he takes it off left tackle left, shimmies back into the inside and gets up ahead to the 35-yard line. A gain of about 8 brought down by Jalen Lott, their superstar who plays both ways. You're going to hear Lott's name a lot tonight as Argyle running up tempo on 3rd and 2, and hand off to Owen again off left tackle. A stiff arm, tries to get to the outside, brought down by a shoelace by Chase Bogle. And that's going to be pretty close to the sticks, and they will wave it forward. First down for Argyle.
I think what you'll see, a good recipe for success, is just back behind that left side of the line. A lot of big guys over there, just run behind them.
Play action, Gailey running out to the right, sprint out, finds a man open at midfield, and the ball is dropped. But Gailey put it on the numbers, and we got a flag down, as it looks like it may be an eligible man downfield. We'll see if we can hear from tonight's referee, Bill Theodore. As let's check in with Clark while we have a second. Clark, what's the Chick-fil-A on 407 mood on the sideline tonight? How are the boys feeling?
You know, this is the first time they had a losing record in a very long time. I see a lot of steel in their eyes, and that's what I was hoping to see. They now know they can't rest on their laurels. They have to prove their worth as a team. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen tonight.
It was an eligible man downfield, so 1st and 15 for the Eagles. Play action. Now pass out to the right flat is airmailed over the head of Jake Kreckler, and Argyle would be faced with a 2nd and long. Robert, that is what bit Argyle last week, has had a lot of 2nd and 3rd and longs. Offense couldn't get any momentum because of it, so see if they can try to re-rack here.
Well, I think what they're going to try to do is try to draw this defense in so that they can run and maybe do, you know, you saw them do some play action in that first series. You know, it'll be interesting to see how much they play off of Devin Owen tonight. 2nd
and 15, Gailey play action, wants to go deep along the left sideline. He's got a guy open but overthrown. That was Will Grudzielanek, who had gotten a step from Jalen Lott, as almost a deep connection there. And Robert, like to see the downfield action. Gailey just a few yards under, and you may have a completion there.
Well, you know what? That's the first couple of game jitters. You know, you're going to be overthrowing. Your timing's not going to be there. They only have so much time during the summer to work with these guys, and second game of the year, you're going to have some overthrows. You're going to have some missteps.
As it should be 3rd and 15, and we have some confusion along the sideline. And looks right. I think it should be 3rd and 15, but
is illegal man downfield? Did they decline the penalty?
Well, it was an incomplete pass, so it should have been just 2nd and 10 if they declined it. And there's a flag on the field. It'll be a delay of game.
5-yard penalty remains 4th down.
And I think you could tell in Bill Theodore's voice, remains 4th down, as they are adamant that it is. So it's going to be 4th and 20, and Argyle will be back to punt.
Well, let's remember it's the second game of the year for the officials as well.
And back to punt is Nathaniel Bruce. A rugby-style kick with his left foot spiraling. A long punt over the head of Jalen Lott, who fields it at the 29. Hammered on the return, and that's going to be Watson Bell on the tackle after a 44-yard punt. Will put Lovejoy back inside their own 30.
Watson said, hello, how you doing, and almost good night. So great hit, great pursuit. He kept his head up, didn't lead with the crown of his helmet. Good, clean tackle, took him right where he was at.
Defensive starters for Argyle up front, Logan Gregory, Tyson O'Neill, and Brendan Hickman are your 3 up front. Your 3 linebackers, Bud Petter in the middle, Max Bland on the outside, and Devin Owen, running back and linebacker tonight. Your safeties, Garrett Westrom, Nathaniel Bruce, and Xavier Sanchez, and Colton Rockmore, and Micah Roberts on the outside, as Lovejoy's first possession will begin at their own 29, working left to right. As Franklin, read option, keeps, now takes on the corner on the outside. That's Luke Lane getting the tackle on Lovejoy's first play. But Robert, Lovejoy stacked offensively. Hondo Franklin is their quarterback, a senior. Had a terrific sophomore campaign, pretty good junior season, but a good start last week as he threw for 368 yards and 5 touchdowns. On the outside, Parker Livingston, number 3, he is headed to Texas, and I believe you'll see why here later in this one.
Well, it's good to see Luke Lane keep his shoulder square. There's holding right there on the edge, and they didn't call that.
Pass out to the flats. Dean makes the man miss. He's across the 50 and into Argyle territory, down at the Argyle 42. May put it at the 44. That's going to be a gain of 27 on a quick little hit out to the flat. And Robert, I'm sure you want to see your guys on the outside tackle a little bit better than that.
And you did, but I will tell you that Luke Lane was held, or he would have been right there to get that tackle, and it would have been either gain of 1.
Pass out to McCutcheon. And McCutcheon barrels ahead to the Argyle 38. It's a gain of about 6, as apparently, Robert, the Lovejoy game plan is quick passes out to the flats.
If it's going to be, they're going to pick on these guys on the outside. They think they got the size and the speed to do it.
First handoff to the game is out to the right tackle, and that's going to be Hickman on the, Gregory on the tackle, as the handoff to Lovejoy's Ethan Nelson, senior running back. Ball at the Argyle 37. Lovejoy is a 3rd and 3 as we are scoreless. Argyle had to punt on their first possession. You're staring at Lovejoy's first possession of the ball game. 9:18 remaining in this first quarter. Franklin from the shotgun. Fakes, play action, now pass out to left to Livingstone. Livingstone makes a man miss on Roberts and stutter steps and will be brought down on the play by Nathaniel Bruce after a gain of 16. There's that Longhorn commit.
I think one of the things that you saw happen to that corner there is he committed to something long and actually turned his back, took his eyes off the wide receiver for a second.
Cardinal now will hand off to the middle. Dean up the middle, makes a man miss, makes another one miss, but finally tackled down at the Argyle 12. That's close to the sticks. And we're going to have a timeout as the Leopard is slow to get up. As the Argyle defense is on the field. Let's hear from the Argyle defensive starters tonight.
14 now from the Argyle 34-yard line. Ham looking to throw under some pressure. Should be he's sacked. Ball's on the ground. Argyle's got it. That was Devin Owen that came in and made the sack. Logan Gregory falls on the fumble. And there's that confidence booster, Andy, for your Argyle defense.
Todd Rogers, head coach, This is my starting 11 on defense.
Logan Gregory, 44, senior, defensive tackle.
Tyson O'Neill, 55, sophomore, D-line.
Brendan Hickman, 97, senior, D-line.
Maxwell Bland, 32, sophomore, outside linebacker.
Bud Petter, number 25, senior, linebacker.
Devin Owen, 0, senior, safety.
Michael Roberts, number 7, senior, cornerback.
Garrett Westrom, number 2, junior, safety.
Nathaniel Bruce, number 8, sophomore, safety.
Xavier Sanchez, number 23, junior, safety.
Colton Rockmore, 4, senior, corner.
Coach Lundy, defensive coordinator.
Those are your starters tonight as Leopard is still down on the field. And looks like it's going to be a full timeout, so let's take it with them. Our first break in tonight's action comes at the 8:45 mark. Lovejoy has the ball in Argyle territory. This is Eagle football, and it's brought to you by the Argyle Eagles Booster Club.
Updating your home is too important to do alone. The Design House of Denton has designers and experts on staff who want to help. Whether it's simply new flooring or having an entire wing of your home remodeled, the Design House has a full spectrum of services for any size idea you have. They care about you and your home both during and after your project. My wife and I know this from personal experience. Now it's time to see for yourself. Go see the friendly staff at their gorgeous showroom located just outside Golden Triangle Mall at 2303 Colorado Boulevard. The Design House of Denton, locally owned and proud members of Argyle Eagle Nation.
What's the secret to scoring big in the real estate game? Put the ball in the hands of the winning realtor in Argyle, Lorena Moore with Monument Realty. Lorena knows all of the plays to find the perfect match for you, whether you're buying or selling. Real estate is about connections, and there's no better quarterback in Argyle than Lorena Moore. Find her at dfwmorehomes.com or look for her QR code around Eagle Stadium. Don't get stuck on the sidelines. Go with Lorena Moore with Monument Realty.
Hi there, fellow Argyle's Eagles fans. This is Pastor Dale Tamke at Argyle United Methodist Church. I want to invite you to join us for church this Sunday. This weekend, we're going to have one service. It will be at 10 o'clock. If you're a first-time guest with us, we will have a special gift for you. So I hope to see you there. God bless and go Eagles.
The real estate station, owned by longtime Argyle residents Dave and Kathy Salisbury, has been around since 1986 and was the first real estate office to be established in Argyle. The real estate station provides full office support, in-house marketing, and an experienced sales team consisting of agents who live in and know the Argyle area. Whether you are buying, selling, or leasing, they are ready to serve you. Supporting Argyle ISD for over 15 years, they are proud to be a district-level Eagle partner again this year. And they were chosen to be Argyle ISD's real estate advisors. The real estate station, they are your hometown real estate experts.
Back here at Eagle Stadium, there's a pause in the action. As injury on the field, which we'll see what Clark can see here in just a minute. But Robert, let's see if we can get some of our first quarter sponsors in.
Well, I appreciate it, and we did certainly appreciate all of our sponsors here. We are, so thankful for people like Brian McNulty over at 407 Barbecue, the Legacy Group and Lori Jacobson, Rapid Med, Park Place Lexus and Land Rover of Grapevine, YourNewDoor.com, the sponsors for our pregame show, Marty B's. We also have Rustico Grill, in 1845. And then we're so happy that Dave and Kathy Salisbury at the real estate station are big sponsors again this year. Also the Design House and Ty and Jennifer Holmeyer, Argyle United Methodist Church, Lorena Moore with Monument Realty, and Evergreen Lawn and Landscape. Thank you guys so much. You're so important to not only what we do, but what all the students and athletes do on the field.
Yeah, and another special shout out to Brian McNulty, back again as the title sponsor. So big thanks to 407 Barbecue. And correct me if I'm wrong, but they do supply some food down in the concession stand from time to time.
I wish they'd do it up here in the booth.
Yeah, I wish they would too. But love me some 407 Barbecue. Clark, you're down on the field. We still have a stoppage in the action. Both teams are on their sidelines. What do you see down there?
Well, it just looks like, there's a big pile in the middle in the fight for the line of scrimmage, and things can happen, and unfortunately injuries happen. It's a lower leg injury, but he won't be back in this game, but it's unfortunate. I hate to see this happen in high school football.
Yeah, and especially, if you caught any of the YourNewDoor.com pregame show, It was this game last year where Lovejoy's injury started to pile up, as Coach Ross noted too. And yeah, you hate that for any sport and any kid. But like you mentioned, it is sadly a part of this this physical game. 8:45 left in the first quarter. Let's take one more Rapid Med urgent care timeout as trying to get this young man off of the field. Well, we are still scoreless here. Lovejoy and Argyle at Argyle High School. This is Eagle Football brought to you by the Argyle Eagles Booster Club.
For exceptional lawn care, call Evergreen Lawn and Landscape. We're a family-owned business serving Argyle for more than 30 years. Our services include lawn maintenance, fertilization, sod installation, and landscaping. Our service techs and support staff are fully trained and work hard to make your lawn the best it can be. Contact them today at evergreenlls.com. That's Evergreen Lawn and Landscaping at evergreenlls.com. Let us love your lawn as much as you do at evergreenlls.com.
Hey, this is Brian Estridge, the voice of the TCU Horned Frogs, and I want to promote a neat tool that the Booster Club releases every Thursday. It's the Eagles Nest Podcast. Blake Jones and his team get you prepared each week for Argyle's next game by talking with one of the seniors for the football team, chatting with the head coach of that week's opponent, as well as spending some time with the Argyle head coach, Todd Rogers, including getting his keys for an Argyle victory. Plus, don't miss highlights from last week's game and the Argyle ISD Eagle Update. Updating you on all the events headed your way around the school district. Check it out and subscribe on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.
Cycle Center of Denton and BMW Motorcycles of Denton proudly support Argyle Athletics. Cycle Center is your local family-owned and operated power sports store with the best selection of motorcycles, all-terrain vehicles, and side-by-side fun and work machines. Shop the largest parts and accessory showroom in North Texas and experience a factory-trained service department that will support you with the great service to keep your machine running at its best. Cycle Center wants to thank all the Argyle football fans, coaches, and faculty that make Argyle the best school in Texas. Come see why Cycle Center of Denton is called your power sports store with more.
JB Warranties is a local family-owned business based out of Argyle, Texas. They work with thousands of contractors nationwide to offer part and labor warranties on heating and air conditioning equipment. Named to Inc. 5000's Best Places to Work list in 2018, 20, and 21, they're looking to add members to their team. If interested, please send a resume to hr@jbwarranties.com or call 855-742-5522. JB Warranties is a proud sponsor of Argyle Athletics. But Lovejoy, their first drive of the game is looking good. 6 plays and 57 yards down the field has them in Argyle's red zone. Earlier we heard from the Argyle defensive starters. Didn't get a chance to hear from the offensive starters, so let's hear now. This is your starting 11 tonight for your Argyle Eagles.
Wildcat look with McGuire Gasperson back in the quarterback. He's running to the right side. He's in for the touchdown. As Argyle's
It started pretty well. They gained a first down and then had an ineligible man down the field, put him in 1st and 15, which we come to find out, Robert, was 2nd and 15, so they lost the down and went back yardage. But then a really good punt. Put Lovejoy back at their own 29, but Lovejoy doing a really good job of working the ball down the field on 6 plays. They're inside the Argyle red zone as we're still under a Rapid Med urgent care injury timeout. But Robert, what I wanted to get into here on that Argyle first possession is we saw Devin Owen back at running back, the senior stud safety headed to Navy. I believe he'll play defense, but Argyle just doesn't have that really standout running back that we've seen in the past. If you're going back a long ways, Nick Ralston, you knew would probably get every carry of the game. You had Don Williams in there last year. R.J. Bunnell and Landon Ferris split time. Typically Argyle has that go-to running back. Clark tells me in my ear, Tito Bice. How could I forget? State champion Tito Bice. But this year they're still trying to find what fits. And Devin Owens' first carry went for, I believe, 8 yards. So Devin could be your next Argyle running back.
One thing that Devin, and I've been very fortunate to know Devin since his freshman year. He came up and he played a bit with one of my sons, and he's a hungry guy. He's a tough kid, hard nose, has a chip on his shoulder when he's in between the lines. Things that you're looking for in an aggressive football player to play at one of the dominant positions. And so one of the things, as you were talking about, he's committed to Navy. He better know how to run the ball if he's going to go to Navy. And so I think it's great to get some of this on tape. And he could be one of those runners. He's not afraid of contact, and he's one of those guys that can get you some yards after contact. So, I saw what they did in that in at least the first set of downs is that they keyed on him, and then it got him down the field and running forward, and then tried to go play action. So I'd be interested to see in the next series if they go back to that of running him on a first or possibly a second down to start to draw the defense in and around him.
And Clark, get in here if you have anything to add. But something that tells me is they may feel better about where they are in their secondary as they got a new member to their linebacking core this week as Hudson Immaterios working his way back. Clark, I don't know if I see him. Actually, he is on the sideline, so he is suited up and ready to go. But maybe Clark, you just move Owen to running back and Hudson into where Devin Owen was playing, and then you say you upgraded offensively.
Well, yeah, and really you could argue it. I mean, Devin Owen is a force on defense, but you don't lose as much moving him to offense when you have Hudson Immaterio able to come in.
So we're still waiting as a Lovejoy Leopard is down. If you're just joining us, still scoreless, still early in the first quarter. Clock shows 8:45. Both teams have had the football. Argyle punted on their first possession, and Lovejoy is looking to wrap up theirs. As Robert, we got into it just briefly, but as we look inside the maybe Chris Ross handbook into how to beat Argyle, it was quick passes out to the flats as they busted a few on the outside here on the near sideline. And you got to think, maybe that was something they saw in film. Maybe they just want to make Argyle corners tackle, but they sure did show their hand a little early there.
And you're right. I think they're just really going to try to pick on some of the guys on the outside because you can see they run a spread offense. And in doing that, even though because we run a 3 safety set, you have less of an impact up front. And if you're going to try to expose somebody, you're going to try to expose them wide. One of the things they haven't tried to do is, like you said, go deep yet. Because we do have it stacked pretty deep. I'd be interested to see what they do as when they're trying to work with a longer field. But right now it's been successful. I don't see them going away from it.
In a really high-powered offense, they've got they get a couple decorated recruits. One of them offensively, that's Parker Livingston on the outside, the wide receiver, caught I believe a 16-yard pass out to the left flat, and it wasn't that he mossed anyone or ran a great route. It was just a little comebacker that he made an Argyle defender miss. So, that's a little bit of the game plan playing out. But, Robert, Argyle doesn't tackle it too much in practice. So that may be just something that they get better at as the year goes on. You kind of want to save your bodies for the regular season, and, that's not new. I don't think Argyle's – correct me if I'm wrong. Argyle hasn't hit much in practice, so maybe that's something that gets better as the year goes on.
It is. It's just a number of reps and getting in and full speed contact. I mean, one of the things that you are limited to the amount of practices you can have. You are limited to the amount of hitting that you can do. And so, getting out here and getting in full speed, a full speed game, it takes a few hits before you finally realize that, hey, this is what I need to do. So that's what non-district is for. I mean, the NFL has preseason. We have non-district. Not saying we want to go out and use this as a glorified practice, but frankly, you're still getting your feet out underneath you during this time.
Well, you said it earlier. Some people's goal may be to go undefeated. That's not Argyle's goal. Argyle wants to play deep in the postseason, win a state championship, and you can lose a couple games in non-district and still do that because these games don't affect your playoff seeding. In fact, Melissa, the last 2 years, has started 0-2. Lovejoy last year started 1-2. So, I mean, it's just it's unfamiliar territory, like we mentioned in the pregame show, for Argyle fans. But in this new life in 5A, you may just have to get used to seeing a 1 or 2 in the lost column.
And that's one of the things that Coach Rogers said in the pregame is we are a very young team. And one of the beautiful things that Argyle's been able to do over the last few years is we get so far ahead in these games that the younger, the sophomores, the juniors, they get a lot of reps. And so they have experience to be able to come in and do this, but this year they're still a very young team as starters, and so it is it's interesting to see as they mature throughout the year how much better they're going to get, and especially going into the postseason.
So it was number 77 for Lovejoy, Tegan Braithwaite. Clark, pretty powerful moment as he's loaded on the stretcher and gives a fist up to the crowd in a standing ovation. That's a pretty strong moment down there on the field.
Absolutely. Nobody on either side of this field wants to see something like this happen. So a big sigh of relief. Yes, it is an injury. But we're just glad to see that he's going to make it through.
I don't know if this means much, Robert, but I when they give you the hand up, that at least makes you feel a little better.
When they're moving in general, because then you're not looking at a neck or a head injury or anything like that. And you do have a salary. I mean, injuries, they're never fun. I mean, I'm coming from somebody who had injuries and had to quit football because of injuries, but they're never fun. But when you can see them moving, when you see them put their hands up, they've got the resilience. It's something that's pretty powerful, and you hate to see them, but God bless them and prayers for them, and I'm sure everybody in this crowd will be praying for them tonight.
Absolutely, and now that has been taken care of, the game must go on. I'm glad to see that the umpires and the referees are giving the teams time to get loosened back up and stretched back out, because it has been quite a long delay. So teams on both sides are kind of going back through their stretching routine now, because we don't want another muscle injury to happen because of the stoppage.
So, if you're just joining us, a long stoppage in action as Lovejoy Leopard had to be helped off of the field. It is still scoreless, tied 0-0, 8:45 remaining in this first quarter. Argyle won the toss and elected to receive, and they went 6 plays before having to punt the football. You're looking at Lovejoy's first possession of the game as Argyle, the home team tonight, in front of the Argyle Middle School now, but in front of the Eagles faithful. Argyle in their red tops with white numbers, white helmets, gray pants with a red, white, and black stripe on the sides. Lovejoy in their Ohio State Buckeye look tonight as the silver tops and silver pants with white shirts and red numbering. As your officials for tonight's game, Bill Theodore is your referee. Chris Thames is your umpire. Thomas Bean, line judge. Another line judge, Durwood Manley. Bryant Warren is your side judge. Brad Vick is your field judge. And Kevin Yarborough is your back judge for tonight's ball game. We heard from Bill Theodore a couple times tonight as Argyle committed a couple penalties on their first drive, making eventually got the 4th and 20 before they had to punt. But Lovejoy, this will be the 7th play of their possession as we get the whistle from Bill Theodore, and it looks like we're going to be back in action. As thank you for sticking with us through that elongated break, but here we go as the clock is running. 8:36 on the clock. Lovejoy inside the Argyle red zone at the 13. Wildcat formation. Jalen Lott takes the snap and is drugged down off left tackle by a couple different Eagles. And tackle will give to Max Bland, or Maxwell Bland, or Maxnificent, as he's called.
Is there ever time for the Argyle defense to step up? Here we go.
Lott still in the Wildcat, as we're going to have a stoppage in play. We have a whistle. Referees checking with this line judge on the Argyle side. Are they going to measure here? It is third and quite short. That's what you don't want, Robert, right? Is another stoppage after another stoppage. So I think now Bill Theodore taking a stride over to the other line judge. They're pointing at the first down stick. I'm curious. And Clark, jump in if you have anything. Maybe it's where they mark the football, as hands above his head. They're going to stop things here.
And I think what they'll do is they'll want to measure it, because you saw this line judge on this side and where he placed his foot. That's typically where the ball marker should be. So they want to check to make sure if this is indeed a first down or where they need to spot the ball.
Boy, you don't see a lot of measurements anymore. This is strange. As the Lott took it off left tackle, it should have been the line judge on the Lovejoy side that marked it. And they're going to say it's a first down. So measurement goes the way of Lovejoy, so Lovejoy will have a first down at the Argyle 12.
They are liking this Wildcat formation.
Yeah, Lott's going to stay back there. Lott, the sophomore, hands off up the middle to Peyton Pierce, barreling up the middle and battles his way to the 5-yard line. Peyton Pierce, normally starting linebacker, he's the Ohio State Buckeye. He's been wearing these threads a lot. As Jack Teller there to bring down the Buckeye commit.
You're seeing, even though the line for the Leopards isn't as big, they sure are strong.
Lott and Pierce in the backfield again. Lott hands off to Pierce. Pierce up the middle, off left guard, battling to the 2, as he's brought down by a couple Eagles. Hickman there to lead the charge for Argyle. That's going to be close to another Lovejoy first down. And let's see if we want to measure again or just call it third and short. And they're going to call it third and short. Ball's at the Argyle about 3.5. They can get a first down without scoring. But Robert, you mentioned an Argyle stop. It's getting tougher and tougher here as the Lovejoys get closer to the goal line. Right. Now Peyton Pierce taking the Wildcat. He's off the left end, and he's in for the Lovejoy touchdown. Lovejoy strikes first.
Yeah, it's, just sucking them up in the middle, taking it up the middle. You get our guys to concentrate there, and then you basically throw them a curveball and take it outside. Great play.
So 7:07 remaining in the first quarter. Lovejoy with their first touchdown. I didn't see Peyton Pierce back at running back much, but Lovejoy throwing everything they can at Argyle as their linebacker commit headed to Ohio State, runs it in from 3 yards out. That's your first touchdown. The Lovejoy PAT is good, and Lovejoy strikes first here in Argyle. 7:07 remaining in the first quarter. Lovejoy 7, Argyle 0. We're back next with Eagle football.
I want something light and modern.
But also cozy, with an open concept kitchen.
And a wine fridge.
How about an outdoor living space?
With a fireplace. And a spa bathroom for us.
And one for Charlie.
At Dries Custom Homes, we've been listening to our customers for 95 years to make sure every home is built on a foundation of you. Customize a floor plan or get into a new build right away. Get started at drieshomes.com. Dries Custom Homes. We like your style.
CR Plumbing is a small family-owned business operated by Clayton and Hannah Robinson. Hannah grew up in Argyle, and no one knows these stomping grounds like she does. CR Plumbing prides ourselves on taking care of our customers, employees, and serving our community. We offer an array of plumbing services, including water filtration systems, leak detection and repairs, water heater tankless conversions, and platinum memberships. Visit our website for any plumbing needs at crplumbingdfw.com. We are CR Plumbing, your local plumber you can trust.
Lovejoy strikes first here in Argyle. 7:07 remaining in the first quarter. Lovejoy with a 7-0 lead, as we're just not going to gain a lot of momentum tonight. A lot of stoppages in play. And we've got one here, and let's use it. Robert, let's get to that drive summary.
Well, thank you very much. And this drive summary will be brought to you by Dave and Kathy Salisbury over at the real estate station. It was an 11-play drive going for 71 yards, 6 runs, 3 passes, and 3 out of the Wildcat, capped off by a touchdown by your Ohio State commit, Peyton Pierce.
As we saw a lot of trickery there once the Leopards got into the red zone. Jalen Lott, the sophomore, he'll be headed to a Power 5 school when his time is due. He does it on both sides of the ball, plays corner and some receiver. He took some Wildcat snaps. Pierce played some running back, so they pulling out all the punches here against Argyle. All right, the second Lovejoy kick is away, and Grudzielanek takes it from the 7 along the left numbers, and he's hammered as he approaches the 20, and that is Kalen Williams, who popped Will Grudzielanek there after a return of 11 yards. Will put Argyle at about the 18-yard line. Argyle had to punt on their first possession, largely due to an ineligible man downfield penalty. Let's see if they can keep it clean and gain some yards here on this possession.
It's those penalties like that and holding that are just momentum killers for any team.
Devin Owen is your running back to the right of John Gailey. Owen gets the play action. Gailey wants to throw deep. He's got Grudzielanek, and he overthrew him again. That's the second time Will Grudzielanek has gotten behind Jalen Lott, the corner. But Grudzielanek got some separation, but Gailey's just missed him.
You know, and it's just, again, early year, your adrenaline's going.
Gailey takes the pass, hands off to Owen. Owen runs left, runs into Jalen Lott, and Jalen Lott brings him down. As that will be a gain of just a couple. But Robert, what I think that Argyle is trying to do is run Jalen Lott deep, sub their receiver, and go quick, as Lott is having to play both sides of the ball. I think they want to test that kid's endurance.
Well, he was running back, and he ran 30 yards back to make that tackle. It was impressive to watch him get in and make that play. So.
And a violent hit as well. It wasn't just a, take him down by the shoelace.
He had a head start, a 30-yard head start.
As it is 3rd and long for Argyle. Gailey back, is pressured, dumps it off, and incomplete as he was trying to find McGuire Gasperson and put it out a little bit too in front of McGuire. And Argyle with their first 3 and out of tonight's ball game.
Yeah, again, it's just a timing issue. This stuff will come, and maybe we'll see it in this game as they're hitting their stride, but this timing will definitely come.
Has had a couple guys open, but you're right. It looks like it's just more of a rhythm thing right now for this Argyle offense. As Nathaniel Bruce with a left-handed kick punts to Jalen Lott, and Lott will watch it roll out of bounds to the Lovejoy 42. That'll be a 40-yard punt for Nathaniel Bruce, and Lovejoy get a look at their second possession of tonight's ball game as they lead 7-0, 6:07 remaining in this first quarter. Good crowd on hand tonight, as we've been seeing a bunch of 105, 106, but it's sad, Robert, when 94 feels good.
It is. I actually was walking in going, it's kind of pleasant.
It's not that bad. Yeah, all right. Lovejoy's second possession starts at their own 42. Franklin back in the shotgun, hands to Dean. Dean off left tackle, barrels ahead, takes a few Argyle Eagles to bring him down, but McCade Manning brings down Dean after he cuts the first down in half. Clark tackling been an issue so far.
There's no way. You have to lower your center and drive through.
2nd and 4. Franklin hands to Dean. No play action. Pass out to the left flat is over the head of his intended receiver. That was Parker Livingston. Hard to miss him, but Argyle defensively glad he did. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 4 for Lovejoy.
And almost right into the hands of Nathaniel Bruce. If he'd if the big tall guy wouldn't have been in his way, he might have taken that and taken it to the house.
Franklin back in the shotgun. Looking at the Lovejoy sideline for the call. 3 receivers left, 1 right, and Kalen Williams in the backfield to the left of Franklin. Play action now. It's the same play out to Livingston. He's got a lot of room along the left sideline, left numbers. He's drugged down by his right foot, And a good tackle out on the side by Watson Bell, but that's a gain of 12 and a first down for Lovejoy.
They're going to pick. They're definitely going to pick on those edges, do those flat passes because they're so spread out.
1st and 10 from the Argyle 40. Franklin, another play action, looking right now, looks left, dumps it out, then the left flat at the first down mark. Ball caught, and good job of getting the feet in was the Lovejoy receiver. That's Ethan Nelson. Got 2 feet in, just short of the first down mark, so it'll be 2nd and short for Lovejoy, but Robert Lovejoy just getting whatever they want offensively right now.
We are only rushing 3 up here just because we are so spread out. When you do that, it's going to give that quarterback all sorts of time to find who he needs.
2 running backs in the backfield. Offset of Franklin. Franklin hands to the left to Nelson. Nelson tries the left, running outside zone left, and a lot of Eagles have to gang up to tackle Nelson. Watson Bell there in on the stop again, but not after the Leopards gain a first down. And the chains keep moving for Lovejoy here on their 2nd possession of the ball game.
They're playing really good small ball, and they're doing a great job in eating up a lot of clock.
2 running backs on either side of Franklin again. Fakes to Williams, now rolls out right, throws a long pass out to the right boundary, and that pass is incomplete. Dalen McCutcheon got a step, and the ball just glided too far out of bounds, and that's an incomplete pass, 2nd and 10 for Lovejoy.
You know, one of the things you'll find out about these Lovejoy guys is they are running really nice routes, and so they're breaking them off, and our guys are just trying to keep up with them right now. Again, this stuff will come.
One guy we haven't mentioned yet is Bear Tinney, tight end for Lovejoy. He's got a lot of offers on his plate as well. He's split out wide right as Lovejoy go trips right. Franklin back to pass, looks right. Now he's got a scramble. Runs into Maxwell Bland at the line of scrimmage. I don't think that'll count as a sack, but nice stop by Maxwell Bland.
You know, Maxwell right there, right where he needed to be, stayed at home, kept his eyes on the quarterback, didn't fall for that pump fake. Really good job.
3rd and 10 for Lovejoy. Got to get off the field here if you're the Argyle defense. Lovejoy looking to the sideline for the play call. 4:20 remaining in this first quarter. Leopards with a 7-0 lead. And marching. Ball in the Argyle 28. Franklin in the shotgun, looks right, now dumps it to the left flat. That ball out of the reach of Kalen Williams. A little bit too out in front. Even if he would have caught it, I believe Bud Petter was there. And it's going to be 4th and 10 for Lovejoy. Don't see a lot of motion here, as it looks like Lovejoy will go for it here from the Argyle 28.
Definitely 4-down territory. I don't know if they're respecting Argyle's offense just yet. So they feel even if they don't make it, they keep them down to the center of the field.
The 8th play of the drive. I don't see Parker Livingston on the field right now. Your go-to guy here on 4th and long. Franklin with Williams to his right. Franklin back to pass. Wants to fire it down the right sideline. He's got a man caught. Touchdown. 28-yard touchdown by Dalen McCutcheon, who had beaten the coverage of the Argyle Eagles for a 28-yard touchdown. Argyle now trails by 13 to Lovejoy.
Again, like we talked about, they've been playing small ball, so we're sucking in on that, expecting something maybe in the flat, and then they send some guy deep and pick up the touchdown.
I believe McCutcheon was that slot receiver, and that can be a hard route to cover. You know whether he's going to the seam or the corner, but he got free for a 28-yard touchdown just like that. Lovejoy up by 14. 4:05 remaining in this first quarter. Argyle's got some work to do. Lovejoy 14, Argyle 0. We're back in 60 seconds.
This year, as our Argyle Eagles continue to build on their legacy of success, our Papa John's family is here to help you step up your pizza game. The North Lake Papa John's is your locally owned and operated pizza shop right here in your backyard. Step up your dinner plans this week with any of our specialty pizzas, papadillas, wings, and desserts. And this season, get 25% off your order when you use the coupon code ARGYLE24. It's the perfect way to celebrate an Argyle victory tonight. Enjoy the game and go Eagles! Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Are you tired of looking at fogged or broken window panes around your home, or want to add just a touch of elegance to your bathroom? Maybe you just need to replace some glass shelving or tabletops? Well, then you need us at Glass and Mirror Specialists located right in Double Oak. Having served the entire DFW Metroplex for over 25 years, James Hudgens and his experienced team can help you with all your glass and mirror needs. Call us at 972-679-1069 to schedule a consultation or visit our website at glassandmirrorspecialist.com.
4:05 remaining in this first quarter. Argyle trails Lovejoy 14-0. After Argyle unsuccessful on their first 2 possessions, Lovejoy touchdowns on both of theirs. Robert, let's get the drive summary.
Well, that was a 4-play, 9-play, 2-minute and 1 length of drive, 3 passes, capped with a 28-yard touchdown on 4th down. And that drive was brought to you by Rustico Grill in 1845.
Thank you to Rustico in 1845 Taste, Texas, as the Lovejoy kick is on the way, and it will be fielded by Will Krysiak from the 8. He runs to his right and is tripped up around the 15-yard line. Has another good job on special teams. Jackson Roberts with the tackle for Lovejoy. Clark, I want to go down to you. You saw something with what these Leopard receivers are doing offensively.
Absolutely. What they were doing earlier in the game, we were talking about small ball, is that every time our defender would start to turn their hips, the receiver would break off the route. And it looks like probably got coached up. Hey, don't commit too early. Don't commit too early. So they didn't turn their hips, and the receiver just ran right by him into the end zone.
Empty set for Argyle here as Kreckler is split out wide left as a pass complete over the middle. That's Hunter McFall. That's his first catch of the season, and that's the first completion tonight for the Argyle Eagles, who want to move quickly after a gain of 6, 2nd and 4. Gailey fakes to Kreckler, out to the right. McFall, back-to-back catches. He's got a first down. He's pushed out at the Argyle 29-yard line. As that's Jalen Lott and Peyton Pierce on the tackle for Lovejoy, but a welcome sight, an Argyle first down. And let's see if that creates any rhythm offensively for the Eagles, as Gailey is in an empty set again. Gailey with the pass, no pressure, down deep right sideline, got a guy, Hodgson, along the sideline. Did he get a foot in? Yes, he did. Long completion there between Gailey and Hodgson. And finally, Argyle connecting on that long pass. It missed Krysiak twice, but Gailey finds Hodgson here for 26 along the right sideline. Argyle moving quickly again. Gailey hands to Kreckler. Kreckler up the middle, fakes right, now runs to the left, run into a Lovejoy wall at the 44-yard line. That's a gain of 2 as Mason Dragoo drags down Jake Kreckler. 3:19 remaining in this first quarter. Lovejoy with a 14-point lead, but finally some life offensively for the Eagles.
Well, let's just hope that those first two completions got it out of his system, and now he's going to get on point.
Gailey, empty set again, looking for McFall. He's double teamed, now looks out to the left boundary. He's got to throw it away and sails it into the crowd, like literally into the bleachers. We're going to have to get a new football. It's going to be 3rd and long for the Eagles. 3rd and 7 from the Lovejoy 43, as this is Argyle's first march into Lovejoy territory tonight. 3 receivers left, 1 right. McFall on the line of scrimmage. Empty set for Argyle. Gailey has got to get away from Pierce. Pierce chasing him, and Gailey will be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to be a sack. That's Chase Bogle dragging down John Gailey. It's a short loss, but it's still 4th and long, and it looks like the punt team will come out for Argyle.
You know, it's one of those things, you basically had a guy coming free. Nobody even chipped him, and Gailey did a great job of picking that guy up and not trying to force something and possibly fumbling the ball.
And that's the issue with going empty, right, Robert? There's no last line of protection. If a guy is free past the offensive line, then he's home.
Exactly.
We've got a timeout on the field. This will be a timeout for Lovejoy. We'll keep it here as Argyle in an early hole. As last week against Melissa, it was actually Argyle scoring first. They had a 7-0 lead, but then Melissa scored 22 unanswered and then another 21 in the second half, and that got away from Argyle in a hurry. Don't want to see the same thing happen tonight, but Robert, this is one of those where neither side of Argyle looks to be clicking right now. Argyle just can't get out of their own way offensively and defensively. I mean, they're going up against a potent offensive attack, but it's just not the Argyle defense we're used to seeing.
No, and you know what? I mean, we've been so conditioned here in the town of Argyle that you're excellent from the jump year in and year out. And moving up to 5A a couple of years ago, we knew it was going to be a tough route, but I think you're really starting to see it, especially when you're coming in and you're bringing in such a young team, that you are going to have you're definitely going to have some of these missteps and some of the mistimings and just things that aren't working out the way you want them to.
So Argyle will punt from the Lovejoy 45 on 4th and 9. As been Nathaniel Bruce with the first 2 punts, but now it's Xavier Sanchez. He punts with his right foot, and a little knuckler out to the Lovejoy 11 as Jalen Lott calls for a fair catch. And the Leopards will start with their worst starting field position of tonight's ball game, but that really hasn't mattered after a 29-yard punt. As Lovejoy started on their 29 on their first possession of the game and marched 71 yards for the score. We'll have to go 89 to score on this possession. This is their third of the ball game. 2:25 remaining in the first quarter. Lovejoy with a 14-point lead in the football. Lovejoy, Franklin, hands to Williams. Williams along left tackle. And that's Dean, and we see a couple flags fly in. I believe we're going to get a face mask as Dean's helmet was being twisted. This will be the third penalty on Argyle tonight.
Personal foul, face mask on defense, number 32. 15 yards is added to the end of the run. It's an automatic first down.
So Lovejoy will go from the 11 to the 26 in just one play. As Robert, we noted on the last drive, no Parker Livingston on the field for Lovejoy, and I don't see him on this offensive play either.
Well, you hope that he
check back in on that here in just a moment. Pass out to the right flat, and pass completed to Dalen McCutcheon. McCutcheon brought down at the 40, and got another flag. And Clark, you're yelling that you may have seen what had happened there.
Yeah, the blocker, the outside receiver that was getting a block on our secondary, I do believe is going to be guilty of a penalty.
And Robert, you'd seen that on an earlier possession, so Lovejoy doing a little grabbing on the outside.
It is. I mean, that's
number 12. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay first down.
And yeah, that's how they've gotten some of their big possessions is, getting their hands outside the numbers, as they said, and got away with it a couple of times. I'm glad somebody said something to the ref finally.
Face mask put them at the 26. They holding will put them back at the 20 after McCutcheon had to limp off. I believe there is Parker Livingston is back in the game, so good that it was not an injury, as he is split out left, lined up next to Bear Tinney. And Franklin now with the pass out to the left flat. There's Livingston. Livingston out to the left side of the left numbers, makes a man miss and pushed out of bounds. That'll be a short gain, and another flag comes in.
I think you're going to get holding on that on number 12 there.
Credit Micah Roberts with pushing out Livingston, but this one appears that it will be coming back. As Parker Livingston, 6'2", headed to the University of Texas.
Holding on the offense, number 12. 10-yard penalty, bottom foul, replay first down.
Hold on Bear Tinney, the tight end. Headed to Texas, his route tree has been small tonight. It's really just been a little 5-yard comebacker.
Well, and you're going to do what works, and if you're going to run quick, you got to go run short passes.
Trips right, Livingston out to the left. Franklin up the middle. Here's Tinney in the seam, ball caught. A lot of yards. He's past the 30 and drugged down by a couple Eagles. He's out past the 31. That's an 18-yard gain on a quick little pass as Nathaniel Bruce gets credit with the tackle. But that was easy as Tinney just had to run 4 yards and turn around and look for the football. Lovejoy wants to go fast. Franklin looking left, out to the left. And a one-handed catch by Livingston. What a reception by the Longhorn commit. That's going to be a Lovejoy first down out near midfield. He's finally out of bounds at the Argyle 48, gain of 17.
And he was wide open. He must have run a good route or done something, but there wasn't a guy within 7 yards of him.
Another Leopard snap. Franklin looking for Livingston again. This time he's bracketed. Good coverage over there by Luke Lane. But as soon as I say something about the routes he runs, then he runs deep up the sideline, makes a one-handed grab. So I guess I'll keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, let's not talk about let's not talk about the. No, I'm just kidding. No, there's a reason he's a Texas commit and why he's going to a soon-to-be SEC school. He's got great feet. He does a great job, and I think we haven't seen the best of him yet.
Still doesn't feel right to call Texas an SEC school. Here's a gaping hole up the middle. It's Dante Dean running across the Argyle 30, bumping off tackles, and Robert, that was just a simple run up the middle, and Dean had all the room he needed, gain of 28.
you know what? You're just finding holes. Our guys aren't just committing to staying in the pocket and staying in the holes, and they're just being pushed around.
Finally tackled the Argyle 24 as the Leopards don't waste a lot of time between plays. They're already ready to go. Franklin claps, gets a snap, looks for Livingston deep left with the ball way overthrown. And that's going to be an incomplete pass. But, Robert, we've seen Lovejoy dynamic. They can do it through the air or on the ground. This is a really potent offense.
You know what? This reminds me a lot of the 2020 team for Argyle, where you're just basically clicking off plays every 4 seconds. And, you know what? It's a great way to get a lot of plays in. But, you know, if you're doing it right, you will steamroll your opponent.
Yeah, that year Argyle fans were spoiled. C.J. Rogers, Tito Bice, Cole Kirkpatrick, you know, they definitely had the offense to do it. Dean out in the right flat, catches a pass from Franklin, stiff-arming an Eagle all the way down inside the 10-yard line. Dean brought down at about the Argyle 9, a gain of 15, but Robert, another pass in the flat.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think we're going to see quite a bit of that this evening.
First and goal for the Leopards. They bring in a tight end in tight. It's Dean next to Franklin. Franklin looking at Livingston on a fade. Livingston goes up, can't catch it. There was some contact over there between Livingston and Lane, but no flag there. Good coverage over on the opposite side by Luke Lane.
Well, Lane did a great job of getting his head around and actually going up and put a hand up for the ball. So even if there was some contact down below, the both of them were jockeying for the ball.
2nd and 9, really 2nd and goal from the Argyle 9. 11 seconds left in this opening frame. Lovejoy with 14-0 lead, looking for more. They're bunched in tight. Franklin with the shotgun, running back on either side. Fakes with the play action. Now backpedaling out to the left flat and throws it away. We got a flag deep in the end zone. I don't like where that flag came in. This smells like defensive holding, but we'll see what the call is from the back judge.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, too, which it looks like it will be that, but it'll be interesting because he was still within the tackle box to throw it that far away. Maybe there was someone within the vicinity, but it could have been intentional grounding as well.
I thought I saw a flag. No, now they're huddling. Let's see what the call is from Bill Theodore.
Holding on the defense, number 7. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. An automatic first down.
Automatic first down. And with 5 seconds, Lovejoy will have a really good look here inside the Argyle 5. First and goal. Franklin, the shotgun pass, passes out to the right, and a one-handed catch by Talon McCutcheon. Now they're just showing off. Lovejoy touchdown.
That, you know what, they're basically getting to do whatever they want right now. This is reminiscent of what you've seen Argyle do over the years with people. Is just start to wear them down and start to get inside their heads. You know, it's going to take a big turnaround for Argyle. They could be up to the task, but you know, we'll see what happens.
Touchdown Lovejoy, PAT on the way, and is good. So with 2 seconds left in the first quarter, it's all Lovejoy. The Leopards lead the Eagles 21-0 here from Eagle Stadium. We're back in just 60 seconds.
Hey Argyle folks, get 100% employee pricing on a new Ford, Dodge, Jeep, or Nissan at Waxahachie Autoplex. Owners Wes and Lisa Spence are proud parents of Argyle state champion Blake Spence, now at Texas Tech. Wes doesn't play games with his sales staff. In fact, he'll deliver the car and sign the paperwork on your kitchen table. Tell Wes you heard about it from us. Great selection, service, and price. That's what Waxahachie Autoplex is all about.
Introducing 308 Construction and Solutions Group. From brand new projects to intricate remodels, we've got you covered. No need to call multiple contractors. With in-house electrical and plumbing teams, we simplify your journey. Proudly based right here in Argyle, Texas, we're not just builders, we're your neighbors and community members. Let the team at 308 Construction be your first call for every construction, electrical, and plumbing need. 308 Construction and Solutions Group, building the heart of the DFW, one project at a time.
drive somewhere?
Well, this drive is brought to our good friends over at the Legacy Group and Lori Jacobson. It was Lovejoy at 10 plays, 3 passes. The plays, defensive, there's 2 flags on our defense, and it's really gave them momentum, but scoring on on a 5-yard pass, one-headed pass, in the end zone.
One-handed catch.
One-handed pass.
Most passes are one-handed.
Well, I don't know. Have you ever seen Patrick Mahomes? No, I'm just kidding.
I think those are still one-handed.
Well, I guess they are one-handed. All right.
I'm going to call this play. I'll let you regroup. Kreckler up the middle. That's Devin Owen bouncing off tacklers. He's up past the Argyle 35. That's going to be a gain of about 11 for Argyle, and that will be the end of the first quarter. That's been all Lovejoy here in Argyle. Your score after 1. Lovejoy 21, Argyle 0. The second quarter is headed your way next.
Hey Eagles, this is Rebel
and Stacy Mickenheim.
Our family owns Charred Pool and Patio right here in Argyle.
As our town grows, our company continues to value community and hometown pride.
We want to know your name and hear about your kid.
Charred is a family-owned and operated pool company devoted to customer service and complete customer satisfaction.
We specialize in new pool design and pool renovation. Ready to get started on your backyard oasis?
Contact Charred Pool and Patio today.
407 Barbecue is a proud supporter of the Argyle Eagles. Named the very best barbecue in all of DFW several times over, 407 Barbecue offers an array of award-winning smoked meats, including mouth-watering brisket and ribs. No plate is complete without one of their world-famous sides and a bowl of Grandma's banana pudding. Family owned and operated by your neighbors right here in Argyle. See their menu and catering options online at 407bbq.com or see for yourself at I-35W exit 407. 407 Barbecue.
First quarter was all Lovejoy. Let's hope the second is all Argyle as they have the ball and a completion out to the right. Will Grudzielak's first catch of tonight's ball game is about 7 yards. Argyle looking at a 2nd and 3 from the Argyle 43-yard line. As Kreckler and Grudzielak out wide, along with Gasperson. Devin Owen takes the handoff off right, and he's twisted down after gets back to the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be a 3rd and short for Argyle. As Lovejoy leads this one 21-0 here at the start of the second quarter. Gailey claps, now looks to the sideline. He's got Kreckler and Gasperson out wide left. Grudzielak wide right, McFall in the tight end position. As Gailey fakes the handoff to Owen, passes out left to Kreckler. Kreckler fakes left now, drives out to the 48-yard line. It's going to be a first down for Argyle. Nice move after the catch by Kreckler to get the first down for Argyle.
I was going to try to do my best, Tony Romo, and call the play ahead of time, but what you can see is they were trying to line them up for one of those screen passes just like they had there. It's been set up all night long.
Kreckler now out wide right with McFall and Grudzielak. Gailey hands up to Owen. Owen running left and passed into the linebacking core for Lovejoy. And that's going to be a gain of 4. I give him 5 for Devin Owen, who's playing a little running back tonight. Argyle faced with 2nd and 5 now into Lovejoy territory. Gailey gets the quick snap back, fakes to Owen, now rolls out to the right, finds McFall at the 40. McFall up to the 30 after he bounces off of a leopard, and we're going to get a late hit out of bounds. This will put Argyle in the Lovejoy red zone.
You know, I think one of the best things that Argyle's doing right now, and hopefully they stick with it here, is just exactly what Lovejoy's been doing is small ball, short passes, dink and dunks.
Personal foul on the defense, number 17, late hit out of bounds. 15 yards added to the distance. First down.
That's a 16-yard completion. Argyle will get a little more after it, as this will put the ball at the Lovejoy 16. And Lovejoy is going to call a timeout. Let's keep it here, Robert. Let's look on some of those second quarter sponsors. Got a lot of them this year, and we're spoiled. Let's hear our second quarter sponsors.
It may take the whole quarter just to read all of our sponsors. We have such fantastic ones that support these teams here. But let's give a big shout out to Cycle Center of Denton, Drees Customs Homes, North Lake, Papa John's, and Jill Pizzuto over there.
I want to add Jill and Josh Pizzuto.
Jill and Josh Pizzuto. CR Plumbing, Glass and Mirror Specialist, 308 Construction, Charred Pool and Patio, Eagle Realty, Wes and Lisa Spence over at Waxahachie Autoplex, JB Warranties. And we also have Fifth Gear Automotive, Noble Classic Homes, Post Oak Realty, Daryl Hawk, Chris Martin, and Gus and Michelle Sanchez. And as well as we have Jay Caldwell Custom Pools. We thank you guys for all of your support and for backing your Argyle Eagles.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you to those wonderful sponsors. Argyle needing some life here to hang in with Lovejoy as they trail by 21. It's 21-0 Leopards. 10:29 on the clock in the second quarter. Argyle is driving, though. Gailey hands to Owen. Owen bounces off of a Leopard. He's not going to get away from that group of Leopards as he's brought down on the play. After, well, looks like they're going to give him for a loss of 1. Brought down by Chase Bogle. And it'll be 2nd and 11 for Argyle.
You know, one of the things you haven't seen him do is go over the left side.
See Gailey looking right. He's going to throw a fade to Grudzielanek just over the head as Grudzielanek was double teamed, but Grudzielanek had a little bit of separation, but Gailey and Grudzielanek just can't seem to find it tonight.
I think the best thing that happened with that one is that it was overthrown because, like you said, he was bracketed by 2 guys, and it had to be a perfect pass for him to bring it down.
As on the outside, it's been number 1 on number 1. Jalen Lott covering Will Grudzielanek. And Grudzielanek has snuck behind him a couple times tonight, but hasn't gotten that long completion we've been looking for just yet. 3rd and 11 for Argyle from the Lovejoy 17. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Gailey, play action, rolls to the left, being chased, throws off of his back foot, finds a man, Gasperson, inside the Lovejoy 5, and brought down. That's going to be a first down for Argyle.
That was an absolutely fantastic play by John Gailey. He's going out, almost looks like he's about to throw it out of bounds, throws it backwards. But we do have a flag on the play.
McIntosh brought Gasperson down inside the 5. Let's see what the flag is. It looks like it's an eligible man downfield. And that's the second time that's bit Argyle tonight.
It's, again, one of those momentum killers that you're going to find in some of these, just like holdings or false starts. You can't have these types of plays.
And you know, when it's 3rd and 11, it's surprising that, you know, linemen would go downfield. You know, typically on those running downs or RPOs, that's when your lineman gets downfield. But, you know, you would think that would have been a pass all the way.
Well, I think when they saw the quarterback start to scramble, that's when they started continuing downfield.
And we're going to have an Argyle timeout as they're faced with 3rd and 16 from the Lovejoy 22. But Clark, I want to bring you into this. We saw this on the first drive, and Argyle was penalized a down. And this one remains 3rd down, so I can't remember which one of you said it, but it's the second game for these officials, but would like some consistency. But Clark, Argyle just kind of stepping on their own feet offensively right now.
You know, it's almost like they're scared of prosperity. But, you know, one thing I do see is that we got a lot of young and experienced players out there, and they're giving it 100%. And sometimes they make mistakes. But I don't see any quitting. I see all the fire, and they're still playing really hard. And clean up the mistakes, that's going to go away.
And that's one of the things, you know, like you said, is they're young players, they're giving 100%, they're making mistakes. You want to see these guys, you want to see them go full out and make the mistakes, because you can correct those mistakes if they're going full out. If you're loafing and you're not giving it everything you got and you're making mistakes, that's when it's hard to correct. And so it's great that these kids are doing this, that they're making these types of mistakes now, that they go back and look at film and make corrections, and I think you'll see things start clicking, you know, if not this game, of course in the games to come.
Back in action here, 3rd and 16 from the Lovejoy 22. Argyle trailing by 21. Gailey under pressure, and he's going to go down. Gailey sacked 4 times in the loss to Melissa last week and sacked for the 2nd time tonight. This bumps Argyle way back to the Lovejoy 33, a loss of 13. And Robert, I believe you were in field goal range. I don't know if you are anymore.
Yeah, and I don't think you are. And one of the things I think you do right here is you're going to go for it, because if anything, try to pin them deep. You know, what have you got to lose? You're not going to punt it.
Gailey, empty set, back to pass, looking deep, throwing deep along the right sideline, looking for Grudzielanek, ball out of bounds. And that's going to be an unfortunate end to a good-looking Argyle drive. And Lovejoy will take over.
It's those drive-killing penalties that we've had pretty much every possession tonight, and it'll be things that they'll be cleaning up and things they'll be talking about come halftime.
And Clark, get in on this as well, but this is going to be a process, right? There have been a lot of years where Argyle is what they are so early in the season because they've got so many experienced players. That's not the case this year. We may see a team that just gets better and better and better as the year goes on, right, Clark?
Absolutely, and then the competition early. Melissa, Lovejoy, two teams that we have really roughed up the last couple of years. They smell blood in the water, and they're going to go for it.
Lovejoy takes over from their own 33. Franklin hands to Kalen Williams. He runs left, and there's going to be another flag as he's gained a Lovejoy first down, but that was largely due to a hold here on the outside by Jackson Roberts.
Flag down at the 42. Holding.
Their wide receivers don't know how to block.
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Remains first down.
Yeah, not a lot of blocking, but more holding on the outside, as Clark mentioned, and that's going to back him up. Because the holding was so far downfield, that's going to end up making it just a 1st and 11 for Lovejoy. So not a huge penalty there, just a 1-yard holding penalty. Franklin rolling right and tries to find Tinney, but the ball sails out of bounds and incomplete. Well, it technically is a 10-yard penalty, but only a loss of 1. On field position-wise, but if you're keeping stats at home, that's still a 9-yard gain by Williams.
It was great to see Max Bland stay at home and sit there and spy on there and continue to keep his shoulder square and take him to the sidelines. He did a great job.
Franklin hands off to Williams. Williams running left, runs into Maxwell Bland and gets some help with some other Eagles. Brought down after a gain of about 4. And it will be, again, 3rd and long. But Robert Lovejoy's had some 3rd and longs tonight, but have been able to convert. And Argyle got to get a stop here.
I think you'll just have to key on the wide receivers and see what type of routes these guys are going to be running. They've done a great job so far.
Tinney in motion right to left. Argyle jump. This will be a free play for Lovejoy as Franklin looking on the right side to McCutcheon. Ball knocked away by Colton Rockamore. Great play over there by Colton Rockamore to break the pass up. But, like we mentioned, that was a free play for Lovejoy. I believe it was Tyson O'Neill who jumped offsides.
On the defense, number 55. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still 3rd down.
So that makes 3rd and 7, 3rd and 2. This is much more manageable for the Leopards. As again, no Parker Livingston, as he's just played in a small percentage of snaps. He's made an impact, but he's not on the field here. As it's Peyton Pierce taking the Wildcat snap. He runs to the left, and he's tackled out at about the 42. Let's see where the officials mark it. They needed the 43 for a 1st down, and this ball will be spotted pretty close to that. Let's see where they mark it. As this near line judge holds up a fist, meaning 4th down, and Lovejoy has no intentions of punting. Robert, we may see another Peyton Pierce run here.
Yeah, I would not doubt it. Again, they're even if it's short yardage, that's what they're definitely getting it tonight. So time for a stand.
Pierce in the Wildcat again. Fakes the handoff, now runs to the left, and he's got a 1st down and then some as he's up ahead before falling at the Argyle 47. That's a gain of about 4 or 5. Just needed a few inches there, but the Ohio State commit barrels forward for another Lovejoy 1st down.
I know, even though with that 1st down, you are starting to see some positives from this Argyle defense. They're starting to pin them deep. They're doing better in coverage. So if we can just correct the mistakes of the penalties like we saw with that offsides, you're going to see some, I think, a better drive.
7:25 remaining in this 1st half. Lovejoy with a 21-0 lead in the football. As they're moving right to left. Franklin in the shotgun, 2 receivers left, 2 right, with Kalen Williams to his right as he moves Bear Tinney back in tight. And we're going to have a Lovejoy timeout. 7:09 remaining in this 1st half. Let's take a timeout with them as well. Argyle needs a lot of work here in the rest of this one to catch up to Lovejoy as they are down by 21. We're back with Eagle football in just a minute.
A trusted community staple for over 15 years, Rapid Med Urgent Care is more than just an urgent care. From well checks to minor emergency care, our goal is to keep you well or get you feeling better sooner. We also now offer Rapid Wellness, providing therapeutic IV infusions, injections, weight loss options, and allergy testing and treatment. Walk-ins are welcome, or visit rapidmed.com and book your visit today. Rapid Med Urgent Care, your hometown emergency care doctors with Texas-sized hearts and proud supporters of our Argyle Eagles.
Buying or selling a home is likely your greatest investment. Lori Jacobson and the Legacy Group believe in making the process easy and simple for your family. Whether you're moving into your forever home in Argyle, need help remodeling or staging, or are a first-time buyer, Lori's dedicated to making sure all of her clients walk away from the transaction satisfied. She has a saying that you walk in as a client, but you leave as a friend. So it's no secret why she's been named Best Real Estate Agent by D Magazine yet again. Lori Jacobson encourages all the Argyle Eagles to leave a legacy both on and off the field. Go Eagles.
Franklin and McCutcheon along the right numbers, and McCutcheon does some dancing up ahead, gain of 6, and we're going to have a flag for extracurricular activities after the tackle. And the only Eagle getting out of that scrum is Maxwell Bland. Let's hope this penalty is not on him. As our lead official tonight, Bill Theodore.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense, number 8. Penalty is 15 yards from the dead ball spot. The down counts. It's second down.
Clark, that's just not in Max's blood to be unsportsmanlike, right?
No. He's a gentle giant until they snap the ball.
As that penalty goes on Lovejoy. They said the down counts. It does. It will be 2nd and 19. But really, no matter what the down and distance has been, Lovejoy's been able to stay on the field. They've got some work to do here. 2nd and 19 from their own 38. Franklin back to pass, a quick hit up the seam, and ball caught by the tight end, running past some Eagles, down past the Argyle 30 and hammered from behind, and down to the 35. That's Ridge Barker on the catch, and Garrett Westrom caught up for him, but not before a long game for the Leopards on 2nd and long.
You know what? Anything over that middle, they're confident that they're going to get it. It's just been something that's interesting to. They're doing a good job of just spreading us out so much. We don't have very much coverage.
And of almost 40 there on that one. And back to the run game. It's Williams up the middle. And he's got a first down and then some, as it takes 5, 6, 7 Eagles. And now there's a scrum at the 6. As Argyle defensively can't take a Leopard down just with one Eagle. And that's another long gain of 18 by Lovejoy. And from 2nd and 19 in your own territory down to the Argyle red zone for Lovejoy in just 2 plays. Back to the ground again. It's Williams taking on an Eagle near the goal line. And he's brought down at about the 2. That's Nathaniel Bruce with the touchdown saving tackle. And Lovejoy will have 2nd and goal from about the Argyle 2. Franklin, the shotgun snap, fakes the handoff, read option. He's running to the right pylon, and he beats the Eagles there. Another touchdown for Lovejoy. This time, Hondo Franklin with the keeper. He scampers out to the right for 2 yards, and another Leopards touchdown. They lead by 27.
If your name is Hondo, you better be making touchdowns.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah,
I think his real first name is Alex. I don't. Hondo's got to be a nickname, but they put it on the rosters. I guess that's what they call him all the time. But Hondo puts it in for the Leopards. The PAT is on the way, and another point for Lovejoy, as that makes it 28-0. We're going to keep it here. As Argyle, like we mentioned, 2nd and 19, and you give up just a quick hitter up the seam. Lovejoy had been using McCutcheon and Livingston on the outside, but Robert, they've hit a couple seams, one to Bear Tinney for a while, and that was Ridge Barker for a gain of 40. And that's just that's a quick hitter. That's not a lot of depth to that play.
You're right. I mean, they are clicking on all cylinders, except for goofy penalties of unsportsmanlike conduct and things like that, and maybe a hold here or there. I mean, they're playing nearly flawless football. They're hitting us in the mouth. They're they're doing things they really should. And that, go back and look at that previous scoring drive. I mean, it itself, it's 10 plays. So they're getting a lot of plays in a short amount of time. And, 4 passes, 6 runs, so they're very balanced. And, take it in for a short yardage touchdown of only 2 yards. I mean, they're doing things they need to do to basically beat us at our own game.
Clark, what's the mood down there?
2 different moods. The coaches are working really hard down here, and the players are beginning to respond. This is a team trying to find its identity, and they're going to have to do it the hard way, playing like this.
I mean, let's keep in mind Lovejoy is a top 5 team in the state, so I mean this is a top-tier team in 5A as the Lovejoy kick is away and a fair catch called by Will Krysiak. Will put the ball at the Argyle 25. But guys, I just think the margin of error is just so much slimmer in 5A. Maybe you could go through a process like this where you got a lot of figuring out to do and still win some games in lower classifications. But I mean, when you're playing the #1 team in Melissa and a top 5 team in Lovejoy, I mean, there's just you can't get away with a lot, and we're seeing that as Argyle trails 28-0 with 5:39 remaining in this first half. Argyle with the football, moving from left to right. Gailey in the shotgun, hands to Owen. Owen up the middle, runs into his own blocker, and will be drugged down from behind. Looks like it's going to be a loss of 1. And not a lot of push there offensive line-wise, is it, Clark?
No, sir. Lovejoy is definitely winning the battle in the trench.
2nd and 11. Could have a free play here as Lovejoy jumps offside. It will be a free play. Gailey looking at Krysiak. Krysiak slipped at around the 40. Ball sailed over his head and out of bounds, but Argyle will get 5 yards here as they do a dummy count, and Lovejoy jumps offside.
On the defense, number 29, 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
Gavin Prince jumping offsides for the Leopards. Turns 2nd and 11 into 2nd and 6. As you heard that name right, Devin Owen getting a look at running back tonight, as Jake Kreckler has been playing a lot of slot receiver. Your receivers right now, Krysiak, Gasperson, and Hodson, with McFall out in the left slot. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Gailey hands to Owen. Owen up the middle, got a little bit of space, and is dropped after a gain of about 4. He's up to the Argyle 33 before he's brought down by Chase Bogle, and it will be 3rd and 2 for Argyle.
I think you're seeing in Owen just a good hard-nosed straight line runner that is not afraid of contact, and that's what we need right now.
It's a quiet Eagle Stadium tonight. 3rd and 2. Gailey claps his hands, looks to the sideline. Got 2 receivers right, 1 left. McFall on the left side of the line, a little bit offset. Owen to Gailey's left. Gailey claps, gets a snap, back, 3-step drop, looks left, looking for Owen, who's wide open on a wheel route, and Gailey can't find him. Gailey hands on head, knew he had a wide open Devin Owen, and here comes the punt team on 4th and short.
Again, it's just going to be reps and timing and reps and timing. That's all we're seeing right here. These guys are open. The receivers and Owen on that time, they're doing their job. It's just being there and being on the right step.
Frustrated Argyle offense walking off the field as the punt team comes on, as they will punt from their own 33. It's Nathaniel Bruce with a left-handed punt, rugby style. That's rolling, hits at about the Lovejoy 42, and that's going to roll all the way down inside the 20. Great punt by Nathaniel Bruce, as this will be down by about the Lovejoy 17-yard line. 50-yard punt by Nathaniel Bruce. If you're going to play field position game, a 50-yard punt helps. 4:16 remaining in this first half. Argyle trails by 28 as Lovejoy takes over with a 28-0 lead, as Lovejoy has scored on every possession so far here in the first half. Franklin, quarterback for Lovejoy, in the shotgun, 2 receivers on either side. He's going to hand off right, and that is Dante Dean with the carry. He's finally shoved out of bounds, but it's going to be a gain, a nice little gain of about 5 or 6 as Max Bland forces him out.
Seeing a great game out of Max Bland. I mean, he's definitely covering a lot of space and doing a good job of taking on his guy. So, if we can just get a little bit of push up front, then I think we can try to actually get them concentrated in one area.
There's Hudson Immaterio into the game, playing a little outside linebacker. The play is coming his way. He's going to get held a little bit as the pass out to the right flat is going for a lot. That's Dante Dean out of the backfield across midfield. Finally drugged down at the Argyle 46-yard line. And it's a it's a long gain on a short pass, something we've seen a lot tonight, Robert. Gain of 31.
It's again, the yards after contact. They're definitely piling them up right now. You know, just like Clark said earlier, they are just, our guys are trying to tackle too high.
1st and 10 inside Argyle territory yet again. Franklin looking right, got a guy wide open along the right sideline. Ball dropped. That's Dalen McCutcheon, who earlier in tonight's ball game had a one-handed catch, Robert, for the touchdown off of a one-handed pass.
That was like one of those wide open layups that you just blow. I mean, that thing was dropped. It was an absolute dime, dropped right into his hands, and maybe it was just too easy, or who knows, maybe he was just trying to catch it with one hand.
28-0. Just trying to have a little fun with you, Robert.
That's okay.
2nd and 10. The Argyle 46-yard line. Lovejoy working right to left. Franklin, same play. McCutcheon along the right sideline. Doesn't catch this one either. This one a little further outside of his grasp, but that's twice that McCutcheon has just blown by an Eagle defender along the right sideline.
Yeah. Again, they're doing what they can there, and they're still getting open. I mean, our guys, it's not bad coverage. These guys are just quick. Devin McCutcheon is a very quick guy, and he's just running right past.
Again, no Parker Livingston. I guess maybe he's on a snap count tonight, or he did quite well in the first game as he caught 3 touchdowns in the Tom Landry Classic. Also threw one on a trick play, but haven't seen a lot of him tonight. 3rd and 10. Lovejoy. Pass out to the flat and hammered out in the right flat, as that is Malik Bracey coming up and stopping that pass in the flat. Lovejoy is going to lose yardage there, and we may see the first Lovejoy punt of the night.
One of the hardest plays is an open field tackle, and he did such a fantastic job of breaking down and driving through the offensive player. That's one of those plays, though, that you'll now he's holding his arm right now. Probably got a little bit of a dead arm from such a good hit, but that's one of those hits you'll remember tomorrow going, gosh, that felt good to hit it.
And you saw it coming a little bit away as Bracey got a little bit of a running start as Malik, the sophomore. We mentioned this is a really young team. Malik Bracey, the 6 foot, 175-pound sophomore, came up and made a good play on that one as Argyle calls a timeout with 3:11 remaining in the first half. Lovejoy with a 28-0 lead, but encouraging sign as Argyle looks to have the first stop of the Lovejoy offense tonight.
Well, you know what? It just takes, again, like we talked about, we're a young team. It's going to take some time, and they're learning on the fly tonight against a fantastic team in Lovejoy. You know, this is the little victories that can help us propel us into bigger ones.
As Lovejoy, after the timeout, is in punt formation. So Argyle will have 3:11 to play with. Let's see if they can't get some points before the first half horn. As Lovejoy back to punt is Alexander Franklin. Punts all the way back and fair caught at the Argyle 14. Fair caught by Nathaniel Bruce after a 37-yard punt. Argyle offense has 3:04. Get into the end zone. And Robert, they've been close. Like we mentioned, Grudzielanek has been open downfield. And I believe we had a drop near midfield. So some of the plays are there. Just like you mentioned, Robert, it's rhythm.
It is, and you just like to see them start to do some of these smaller, like we're saying, play small ball a bit, start chewing up maybe a little bit of this clock and chewing up small yards.
Gailey from the shotgun, hands off. That's Kreckler, does a shimmy out left, outside of the left tackle, gain of about 5. As Kreckler now getting some work at running back. As Avery Fuller on the stop for Lovejoy, it'll be 2nd and 5 for Argyle.
I think taking a play out of Lovejoy's playbook and small little flat passes, things across the middle, short runs like that, keep them on their heels.
Argyle looking at the sideline, 2:36 of a running clock in the first half. They run on the first play, and run on the second. It's Kreckler again spinning into a Leopard and dragged down hard, as he will just gain about 2 on the play before he's dropped by Owen McGee.
It'd be nice to see either a little play action or honestly a bootleg out of this, just because it is such a short yardage and they're really keying on the running back right now.
From the Argyle 32, it is 3rd and about 2. As I think you just want to give Gailey an easy pass to complete here. He's been just off tonight. 3rd and 2 for Argyle. This will be a play action out to McFall and left flat. McFall reaching the ball out and got a first down. And that's that easy pass you need.
Yeah,
Gailey just needs to see a couple get caught.
Yeah, and he did a great job of just getting out of bounds too and stopping the clock. So again, little small things to give us a little momentum.
First down at the Argyle 25. Gailey, play action, rolls right, looking for McFall, who's covered. He's got to throw it away and does. Ball sails into the Argyle bench. Caught by Luke Lane. I don't know if you'll get credit. That will be second down.
Yeah, I don't know, and of course these offensive coordinators and play callers know a lot more than I do, but I just think trying to go for those longer passes right now when the timing's down may not be the best idea. I think something across the middle or just a screen pass is what the doctor would order.
Argyle with some confusion here offensively. Got plenty of time on the play clock, 13. As the snap goes over the head of Gailey, and there will be a fight for the fumble, and Lovejoy's got it. Lovejoy will take over inside the Argyle red zone.
It's just mistakes that are drive killers, and of course that one being a turnover. It's unfortunate we've seen it on every drive tonight.
So Lovejoy will take over inside the Argyle red zone with 1:38 remaining in this first half, looking to pile on as they lead by 28.
Let's hope again, getting back in at halftime, giving these guys a chance to regroup, come out, hopefully cure some mistakes, and have a better second half.
Franklin in the shotgun, play action, runs left now, running back to the right. He's being chased and ran out of bounds as he is pushed out by Hudson Immaterio. I believe also on the chase was a couple different Eagles, but Immaterio will get credit with the push out of bounds, and it will be 2nd and 10 for Lovejoy. Franklin, another play action, throws out to the left flat, ball caught by Lott. You're not going to catch him. He strolls into the end zone. There is a flag down. And let's see if Lovejoy will get caught with another hold on the outside.
Holding on the offense, number 83. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, remains second down.
That's a few times they've been flagged for that. That's Jackson Roberts on the outside as Lott. It's just strolled into the end zone, but found out why as a hold on the outside. As this will put Lovejoy back to the Argyle 19, and it will be 2nd and 18. They can get a first down without scoring. Franklin, play action, looks right to the seam, caught, touchdown. Jalen Lott scored when passing to the left. Gets called back due to holding, so you look to Jalen Lott on the right, and he scores up the seam. Another touchdown for Lovejoy, 34-0.
Yep, when you're hot, you're hot, and they are definitely got the hot hand right now.
I don't know if I've ever heard this stadium this quiet. It's dead.
It's one of those things of just something we're not used to here in the town of Argyle is this type of game. So you got to have these. You got to have these sometimes. They're never fun.
No, but we've seen games like this kind of propel teams forward. The great Andy Smith, the knower of everything Argyle football history-wise, recalls a game against Salina where they defeated Argyle 50-0 in a game where they scored pretty late in the fourth quarter and went for 2 so they could hang half 100 on Argyle. That Argyle team ended up playing for the state championship. So don't count a team out too early as this is a very young team, a team that will improve week to week, and in a game like this against a top 5 team in the state, you mentioned it, you're looking for the small victories, right? You want to see if your offense can put up some points here and just show that you belong somewhat with the likes of Lovejoy, as the PAT made it 35-0 Lovejoy, 1:11 remaining in this first half.
Right, and I just, it's like you said, the little small things, the things that they're going to be able to look at and review on tape to make sure that they're not seeing any quit in these guys, and because that's just not in Argyle DNA.
Fair catch on the Lovejoy kickoff. We'll put Argyle at the 25. Coming up in the 407 Barbecue halftime show, we have a fantastic player spotlight for you this week, as we caught up with starting right guard Thord Johansson, and he was a fantastic interview that you need to stick around for. We'll get the Argyle ISD Eagle update with Laura Trubenbach. And to lead off our pregame show, we're going to carry the presentation of the Lone Star Cup, Argyle's 11th in a row, as I see the trophy being walked around the Argyle track right now. So that'll be a special moment for this school district coming up at the half. So join us for the 407 Barbecue halftime show. As 1:11 on the clock, 35-0, Lovejoy with the lead. Argyle with the football working left to right. Handoff is to Devin Owen. Runs left into a group of Leopards. And that will be Alonzo Nolan on the tackle for Lovejoy. It looks like Argyle just wants to get to the half here. 51 seconds and counting. As the Argyle offense looking towards the sideline, looking for the play call. And here we go. John Gailey with Devin Owen to his left. Gailey claps, gets the snap, looking left. Looking and fires deep up the left sideline. Got a guy, but overthrown. As Will Hodson had created just a touch of separation. But again, that's another long pass that is over the head of an Argyle receiver.
Well, you can definitely see that Gailey does not lack an arm strength, but it's just those touch passes, the timing routes, things like that we're seeing off right now. It is impressive. It's impressive to see the strength and the length he can get on the ball.
Just a little more air. 3rd and 7. Owen with the carry, and he's caught from behind. That is Ridge Barker. And that's not close to a first down. He's brought down at the 29. That will make a 4th and 6. 20 seconds on the clock. 25 on the play clock, so that may have been the last play of the first half. As I don't think Lovejoy wants another look here. Argyle may just run a play here as time expires. 5 seconds. Gotta hurry. 3, 2. Gailey claps, and this will be the final play of the first half. Gailey looking for Grudzielanek along the right numbers. Grudzielanek bracketed, double team over his head, incomplete. And that's a very fitting way for the first half to end. As we'll see if we can get a word with Coach Todd Rogers heading into the half, as Lovejoy takes a 35-0 lead into the half. And I don't know if we'll get Coach Rogers, as he's got a few words for the officials on the way back in. So that will take us into our 407 Barbecue halftime show. Again, the Lone Star Cup ceremony coming up here just shortly, followed by the player spotlight and the Argyle ISD Eagle update. Plenty to get to, and we'll start with this break as Lovejoy with a 35-0 lead over Argyle at the half. The 407 Barbecue halftime show is on your way next.
Howdy folks, Marty B here, inviting you to come to each of our 4 amazing restaurants. At Marty B's, join us for an outstanding atmosphere of family, food, fun, and entertainment. Or join us at Rustico Wood-Fired Grill and Wine Bar for an intimate date night in a rustic, elegant setting. Looking for a taste of upscale Texas? Join us at 1845, where it's designed like Dallas, but tastes like Fort Worth. Come experience amazing at all of our fine restaurants. And new this summer, put a pep in your two-step at Marty B's Coffee Co., right next to Marty B's restaurant. Look forward to seeing you there.
Updating your home is too important to do alone. The Design House of Denton has designers and experts on staff who want to help. Whether it's simply new flooring or having an entire wing of your home remodeled, the Design House has a full spectrum of services for any size idea you have. They care about you and your home both during and after your project. My wife and I know this from personal experience. Now it's time to see for yourself. Go see the friendly staff at their gorgeous showroom located just outside Golden Triangle Mall at 2303 Colorado Boulevard. The Design House of Denton, locally owned and proud members of Argyle Eagle Nation.
Great. All right, welcome inside the 407 Barbecue Halftime Show. Have a very special ceremony at midfield right now. Let's turn things over to PA announcer Andy Smith, who carries the Lone Star Cup ceremony.
To congratulate and honor Argyle High School for its state record 11th consecutive and 13th overall UIL Lone Star Cup. The 13 titles are tied for the most in Lone Star Cup history. Argyle is also the first school in the history of the Cup to win the title immediately after moving up in classification. Argyle didn't miss a beat in 5A, winning state titles in academics and film, also carrying over its state marching band championship from the 2021-22 school year. The Eagles advanced to the state title game in baseball and state semifinals in football. Argyle also took home district and regional titles in academics and produced deep playoff runs in softball, team tennis, and Lady Eagle volleyball. That rounds out another outstanding year of excellence for Argyle High School. The administrators, coaches, sponsors, students, and parents who represent Argyle High School should be extremely proud of this accomplishment. Congratulations on an outstanding year. On hand tonight, the UIL Director of Music, Dr. Brad Kent, and Justin Chance from Texas Farm Bureau Insurance will now present the UIL Lone Star Cup Trophy to Argyle High School Principal John King. And Argyle ISD is being represented by Superintendent Dr. Courtney Carpenter and retired Superintendent Dr. Talina Wright. Deputy Superintendent Chris Daniel, Assistant Superintendent Dr. Don Jordan, Chief Financial Officer Liz Stewart, Athletic Director Todd Rogers, Assistant Athletic Director Chance Westmoreland, the Band Director Jason Bird, and UIL Academics Coach Jennifer Hadley, also on hand. Joining the administrators on the field are the outstanding Eagle students and coaches who helped contribute to this historic achievement. Special thanks to the Argyle ISD Board of Trustees, President Sam Slayton, Vice President Craig Hawksworth, Secretary Matt Slayton, Dr. Leona McDade, Leanne Arto, Richie Deffenbaugh, and Josh Westrom. Also a special thanks to elected and local and state officials. That includes State Representative Kronda Temish, Argyle Mayor Rick Bradford, Argyle Mayor Pro Tem Ron Schmidt, and Flower Mound Mayor Derek France. Ladies and gentlemen, this is huge. Let's stand for your 2022-23 Conference 5A UIL Lone Star Cup champions. They are the Eagles of Argyle High School. That is a lot of hardware right there. Congratulations again to Argyle High School, a state record 11 consecutive Lone Star Cups.
All right, that is PA announcer Andy Smith as Argyle receives their 11th straight Lone Star Cup. Quite a feat for this school district, including first school to ever win it, moving up a classification. So that is quite the honor. And it was a bit of a come-from-behind victory last year as the baseball and softball programs helped, and the golf teams as well. So had a little bit of a scary finish there, but Argyle does take home their 13th total Lone Star Cup. We're inside the 407 Barbecue halftime show, and we're going to take one break here before we get to the player spotlight, as here on the other side, we caught up with senior right guard Thor Johansson. That coming your way next here in the 407 Barbecue halftime show.
Park Place is proud to support Argyle High School and all you Eagles fans out there. You deserve to feel like a winner, whether you're cheering on your favorite team or shopping for your new favorite car. And at Park Place Lexus Grapevine and Land Rover DFW, you'll enjoy a fully customized luxury dealership experience that'll make you feel like the MVP. So head over to your nearest Park Place dealership or visit parkplace.com and see what makes them the experts in excellence.
The Real Estate Station, owned by longtime Argyle residents Dave and Kathy Salisbury, has been around since 1986 and was the first real estate office to be established in Argyle. The Real Estate Station provides full office support, in-house marketing, and an experienced sales team consisting of agents who live in and know the Argyle area. Whether you are buying, selling, or leasing, they are ready to serve you. Supporting Argyle ISD for over 15 years, they are proud to be a district-level Eagle partner again this year. And they were chosen to be Argyle ISD's real estate advisors. The Real Estate Station, they are your hometown real estate experts.
This is the 407 Barbecue halftime show, as it was all Lovejoy in the first half. Argyle trailing the Leopards 35-0 at the break. As let's get to some of our content here in the halftime show. First up, it's one of the better player spotlights in recent memory. This was a fun one, as we sat down with starting right guard Thor Johansson. Kid was born to be an offensive lineman. You're about to find out why. Here is our player spotlight with Thor Johansson. All right, Rapid Med Urgent Care brings you this week's Players Spotlight, as I am seated with a member of the offensive line, right guard Thor Johansson. Hi, Thor. How are you?
I'm doing well.
So typically I start these things asking about school, but I kind of want to get to your name first.
Well, Thor, yeah, it's an interesting name.
Is that short for something?
No, it is not. My dad was born in Sweden, lived there all the way up until he was 18, and when he moved here and he had a kid, he was thinking, I got to give him a cool name, and Thor was just...
It's a cool name.
Yep. I was not supposed to be named Thor, though. It was supposed to be their firstborn child. She ended up being a girl, my older sister Ellen. So Ellen.
Okay.
So they had to scrap that name, and when I was born 2 years later, I got the name Thor, and my little brother, he is Odin.
Okay.
So
I was gonna ask if all of your siblings were named after
Avengers
or something, but you're not named after Thor.
No, I'm not. I just got a cool name that they thought, well, he's a protector.
Yeah.
And they were just hoping that I didn't end up being short, I guess, because if I was 5'7" and 120 pounds, I think it would have been a little bit of a misnomer.
I was going to say, you were born to be a lineman, I feel like. I mean, you can't play soccer with a name like Thor.
Definitely. I did play soccer. Played soccer for 3 years.
No offense to soccer players.
Of course not.
Linemen are a little stronger and tougher, right?
Definitely.
Okay. What's your brother do? Is he?
He also plays football.
I would hope.
Yeah, he's a sophomore. He's on the JV. Also plays right guard.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna ask. You also can't kick. I feel like you'd be the punter with a name like, especially Odin or Thor. I wanted to get that out of the way. I just thought Thor. That's a really cool name. I wonder if it's short or a nickname. But no, your birth certificate says Thor.
It does,
and that's awesome. Well, how is school going?
School's going well.
Got a senior in, senior out. What's your deal?
Senior in and a senior out.
Oh, both.
3 dual credit courses, so keeps my plate pretty full.
Okay.
But I love the challenge.
Yeah, but you're in and out of here.
Definitely.
No messing around.
Yeah.
Did you have a dream job growing up?
I did have a dream job. I wanted to be a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
I still want to be a doctor.
Okay, so it's still attainable. You still would like to go down that path. Anything specific, like surgeon or?
Pediatric anesthesiologist.
Oh, you've thought this through.
Yes, I have.
Why that?
That because when I was young, I had some health problems, had to have surgery, and it kind of freaked me out sometimes. And they would just come in and put a mask over your face or put something in your IV, and then no one told me what was happening, and they'd wheel you in, and I'd start to feel sleepy, and I'd get really nervous and scared. And I was like, well, I mean, he could at least come out and talk to me, say, hey, this is what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is a little hard topic for them, but...
Yeah, a little education.
Yeah, but just coming out and explaining and talking with them. And I really feel like I could help make a difference and make some kids not scared, because some of these procedures are really scary.
Yeah, I would imagine. And who better to talk to them than someone that went through it, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. I hope you get there.
Thank you.
You have a lot of school ahead of you.
I
to
do.
that.
12 more years.
Good luck.
Thank you.
What is the Hog Bowl?
The Hog Bowl is our annual offensive line and tight ends versus the defensive line bowling competition.
Okay, how'd we do?
We won this year.
Very good.
Finally, we made a comeback. Last year, lost in heartbreaking fashion.
Oh, no.
But this year, came back, put together a really good game, dominated the D-line, which was just a great day, and then went and took over a CC's for about an hour.
Oh, my.
Yep.
I hope y'all gave them a heads up.
Nope.
Oh, no. I hope they had enough pizza for
it's the same CC's we go to every year.
Okay, well, I would imagine that all of you linemen together can put a pretty big dent there.
Yes, sir.
That's funny. Do you have a specific eating accomplishment that you're really proud of?
Eating accomplishment that I'm really proud of.
I'm going to take you back a year ago. I asked this question to Grant Maribald.
Oh.
And he told me that at Olive Garden one time he ate 21 breadsticks.
That's horrifying.
It is, but also impressive.
Me and two of my good friends 2-3 years ago went to Texas Roadhouse and ate 29 rolls.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yep, it was not a good idea. It was a terrible idea.
Cinnamon butter on them?
Yep.
Yeah, you have to, don't you?
Yeah.
And then this with your meal?
This with the meal. Of course with the meal.
I'm just having, you could load up on 29 rolls and then roll out of there, but
that's not really a part of it.
So, but then you're eating a chicken fried steak and maybe some peanuts while you're waiting.
Definitely. But yeah, we got to that 29th roll, and I was thinking about 30, and then I saw him bring out another basket, and I told him if I even look at it, I think I might throw up, so I'm not going to do it.
Just chill. That's funny. This is Thor Johansson on with us in the 407 Barbecue Halftime Show. So talk to me about the offensive line this year. How's the bond between everyone? I know you got sophomore mixed in there, juniors, seniors. It's kind of like, some years it'll be like all seniors or all juniors, but this year you kind of got a mix. So what's the bond like?
Definitely. Well, I've known most of these guys for a really long time. I know Carter Wilson, our center. I've known him since we played together in Pee Wee. Our left guard, he's a sophomore, Chanson Bowen. He was really good friends with my brother growing up, so I've known him, and we've grown a really good bond together. Just the whole offensive line, we've really meshed well. Like there have been some years where it's kind of been the seniors are off on their own, and then the juniors are doing their own thing. But it's us. We're always talking. We're always communicating.
Good.
It's a really nice thing to see.
Yeah, that'll help you guys, I'm sure, because the offensive line has to communicate a lot, I would imagine.
Yes, we do.
What's cool about right guard?
Right guard, the coolest thing about that is definitely most of my blocks are double teams, so I'm just getting to hammer on someone most of the time when they don't suspect it. And it's really fun because two guys pushing on one guy, you're almost always going to win, and it's a great feeling. You push some kid back into their own defense, it's great.
That sounds like fun,
It is.
especially if you can pull it off. So it sounds to me like you prefer run blocking.
Of course I do. Run blocking is the epitome of football.
Yeah.
It's that ground and pound. You versus someone else. So you get to see who's stronger, who's got that better leverage. And I love run blocking. I don't hate pass blocking, but run blocking it's so fun.
Yeah. Everyone has a favorite kid, whether they want to admit it or not. But yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have a mean streak?
I wouldn't say I have a mean streak. I have been known to get fired up on the sidelines and definitely have talked a little bit during the games. I don't try to. I never go into a game thinking, oh, I'm going to talk a bunch of smack. But if I see someone hit our running back late or hit one of our linemen especially or our quarterback, I might have to let them know the next time I hit him, hey, I'm here. If you want to do that, you can come to me.
Yeah. I feel like you were truly born to be an offensive lineman. Everything you're saying, you're just the epitome. You're the perfect offensive lineman, I feel like. This is Thor Johansson on with us in the 407 Barbecue Halftime Show. What about off the field? What are you into?
Off the field, I like to play video games, read some books. I used to read books, not anymore. No time for school. But school, I like to play some video games, go outside. I have horses and chickens, so I take care of them. Really like my horses. They're really nice. So
names?
I have 5.
Okay.
So Milo, Marshmallow, Sam, Sophie, and Cheyenne.
Okay.
And some of them are quite old, so they are quite care intensive.
That's
but
funny.
it's a good thing.
Are you riding them, or are you just taking care of them?
We ride them. Haven't ridden them in a while. Most of them just they're too old, and then our 2 young foals are just they're a little skittish. So
just leave them alone.
Yeah,
let them be.
Well, one of them might not be the brightest, so we don't ride him. But he's really nice. He's kind of like a dog.
Which one is that?
Marshmallow.
Marshmallow. Okay, the name fits.
If you pet him, he will follow you to the ends of the earth because he is your friend now. It doesn't matter who it is.
That's great. You said you're a video game guy. John Gailey told us last week that he's a Call of Duty mobile. Are you on that at all?
No, I'm a big Candy Crush guy.
Okay, I don't know if that's a video game. It's more of like a
no, it's definitely
that's a little
game.
phone game. I thought you were playing like real stuff.
I do play some real stuff.
Okay.
Play a lot of Madden.
Okay, there you go.
But yeah, no, Candy Crush. That's my jam.
That's still going around.
Yes.
Okay. Have you been on it for a while, or you just?
I
picked it
have
up?
been. I've been playing Candy Crush for 4 years.
Jeez. I feel like the shelf life for a lot of those is like a few months, and you get tired of it. But you're still hammering away.
Yep.
That's funny. All right, last thing for you, Thor. What is your favorite Coach Rogers saying?
Favorite Coach Rogers saying. This has definitely been played out before, but go to Home Depot, buy some wood, build a bridge, and get over it. After he screams at someone because they messed up, and everyone stands there horrified.
I mean, he's never said this to you, right?
No, I got a different insult. And, he asked me if I was smart, and I said, yes, sir. And then he said, well, you're not acting like it, so get it figured out. That was my first year on varsity, which was a really good wake-up call because up until then I was kind of just skating back, trying to stay out of trouble. And then that happened. I was like, wow.
Welcome to varsity.
This is serious.
That is awesome. Well, Thor, I've greatly enjoyed our conversation. Really pulling for you guys this year.
Thank you.
You got a tough road ahead, but we're all with you. I think you'll get better game by game, and
definitely.
We're excited to see how the season goes. Best of luck the rest of the year, and thanks for your time today.
Thank you, sir. It was a great conversation.
That was our player spotlight segment with Thor Johansson, the starting senior right guard. As this is the 407 Barbecue halftime show, Argyle trailing Lovejoy at the break 35-0. As it was, of course, all Lovejoy in the first half. There's a couple more things to get to here in the halftime show, but we're going to take a timeout. As coming up next, we'll get to the Argyle ISD Eagle Update, where Laura Trubenbach will update you on everything going around the school district. As Argyle trailing big at home, 35-0 to Lovejoy. The 407 Barbecue halftime show continues in just a moment.
Hi there, fellow Argyle's Eagles fans. This is Pastor Dale Tamke at Argyle United Methodist Church. I want to invite you to join us for church this Sunday. This weekend, we're going to have one service. It will be at 10 o'clock. If you're a first-time guest with us, we will have a special gift for you. So I hope to see you there. God bless, and go Eagles.
What's the secret to scoring big in the real estate game? Put the ball in the hands of the winning realtor in Argyle, Lorena Moore with Monument Realty. Lorena knows all of the plays to find the perfect match for you, whether you're buying or selling. Real estate is about connections, and there's no better quarterback in Argyle than Lorena Moore. Find her at dfwmorehomes.com or look for her QR code around Eagle Stadium. Don't get stuck on the sidelines. Go with Lorena Moore with Monument Realty.
This is the 407 Barbecue halftime show. Lovejoy leads Argyle 35-0 in Argyle's first home game of the season. The Argyle band on the field right now. Team still in the locker room, readying themselves for this second half on a somewhat pretty nice summer night here in Texas. Although at 1st of September, you think it's fall, but temps are still pushing the hundreds here this time of year, and it's a pretty nice 87 degrees right now here in Argyle. A little bit of a wind, not bad. Not a bad Friday night here in Argyle. This is the halftime show. Let's get to our Argyle ISD Eagle update. And this is brought to you by Lori Jacobson and the Legacy Group. Here is Laura Trubenbach to update you on all the goings around the school district.
Hello, Eagles. Argyle ISD is thrilled about this week's 13th Lone Star Cup presentation that has the entire community brimming with pride. For those of you who might be new to the Lone Star Cup, it's a prestigious recognition awarded by UIL that celebrates all-around excellence in academics, athletics, and fine arts. And let me tell you, the excitement is doubled as we stepped into the world of 5A competition and continued to dominate. Argyle High School has been no stranger to success, and the 22-23 school year was no exception. We've seen our students, coaches, and directors pour their hearts into this pursuit of excellence, and it has paid off. This week, Argyle accepts its 13th Lone Star Cup due to the teamwork, perseverance, and dedication of these amazing groups. Teams that contributed to this record-breaking victory include marching band, girls basketball, volleyball, UIL academics, softball, baseball, cheerleading, state film, congressional debate, team tennis, girls soccer, boys golf, and of course football. Congratulations to the community, families, students, and leaders who played a vital role in this achievement. Next up, we have a heartwarming event to share with you that's all about celebrating family and bringing generations together. On Friday, September 8th, Argyle ISD elementary schools will host their grandparent parades. Grandparents are invited to decorate their vehicles, deck them out with all sorts of creative and fun signs, streamers, balloons, and messages of love. They will parade around the school campus while their little eagles cheer them on. It's truly a memorable event for everyone. Make sure to check your school's website for exact start times. Grandparents play a huge role in supporting their little eagles, and this event allows us to show our appreciation for their unending love and support. Thank you, Eagle grandparents. Imagine the thrill of witnessing a beloved fairy tale unfold before your eyes. Well, you will soon have that opportunity because the talented students of Argyle High School's theater department, directed by Melissa Carpenter and Jessica Reynolds, will soon present their musical production of Cinderella. Cinderella will be played by the amazing and talented senior Mia Navarro. These students and directors have invested long hours into perfecting their roles and will deliver a performance that will transport their audience into a magical world. Shows will be performed at various times during the weekend of September 29th, 30th, and October 1st. Information on ticket sales will be released soon, so stay tuned, and trust me, you won't want to miss this enchanting production of Cinderella. Fall is always a busy time, so get ready to mark your calendar as we look ahead to important dates that are coming up in the month ahead. Reminder that Monday, September 4th is Labor Day, so Argyle ISD campuses will be closed. September 8th is Grandparents' Parades at elementary campuses. September 8th will also be Hawaiian Spirit Day at the AHS Pep Rally and Varsity football game. September 11th, Argyle High School will hold its college fair, where students will have the opportunity to meet and speak with numerous college and university representatives. On September 25th, Argyle High School will host open house to parents to give them an opportunity to meet teachers and learn about their students' classes. On September 29th, 30th, and October 1st, the AHS Theater Department will perform Cinderella. Make sure to follow our new superintendent, Dr. Carpenter, on X, formerly known as Twitter, to see her daily experiences and get a first-hand view of the connections that she makes with students, faculty members, and the community. But that's not all. To stay fully connected to Argyle ISD, make sure to follow our official district accounts on all of your social media platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, and X. It's the perfect way to stay up to date with important events and the remarkable achievements of our students and staff. And on behalf of the Argyle ISD Communications Department, go Eagles!
Thank you, Laura. That is the Argyle ISD Eagle Update. Gets you caught up on all the events going around the school district. As she noted, Argyle won its 11th straight Lone Star Cup and received a trophy here earlier in halftime, which was a special moment for this school district. As you're just joining us on the field, Lovejoy dominated the first half as they lead 35-0 here with just a few minutes remaining in the half. Let's take one more timeout. And on the other side, we'll take a look at some of the scores around the Metroplex as well as some of the stats from the first half. That, and then we will get you ready for kickoff in the third quarter. That coming up next in the 407 Barbecue Halftime Show.
For exceptional lawn care, call Evergreen Lawn and Landscape. We're a family-owned business serving Argyle for more than 30 years. Our services include lawn maintenance, fertilization, sod installation, and landscaping. Our service techs and support staff are fully trained and work hard to make your lawn the best it can be. Contact them today at evergreenlls.com. That's Evergreen Lawn and Landscaping at evergreenlls.com. Let us love your lawn as much as you do at evergreenlls.com.
This is Billy Klein. DFW Door Repair was repairing, restoring, and replacing doors in houses all over town when a couple of guys from Austin showed up and said, "Billy, we need to take this nationwide." I said, "I don't know how to do that." They said, "We do." And that's how YourNewDoor.com was born. I'm telling you this in case it all works out and we become a big deal nationwide. You'll be able to say, "I was there the day it was born." Billy and Jennifer help sponsor our ball games. Check it out, YourNewDoor.com.
Welcome back into the 407 Barbecue Halftime Show. Lovejoy leading Argyle 35-0 at the break. Let's take a look at some of the scores around the Metroplex, starting in 5A, looking at some of the district opponents for Argyle coming up. Frisco Emerson with a big lead over Dallas Wilson. Emerson leads 41-7. Melissa, of course, beat up on Argyle last week to open up their new stadium. Melissa leads China Spring at the half 35-14. Looking down south, Partnitches Groves played South Oak Cliff in the state championship game last year. They leave Beaumont United 45-7. South Oak Cliff playing Lancaster tonight, and the Golden Bears with a 28-14 lead at the half. Terrell Tigers with a 27-10 lead over Sunnyvale. Decatur playing Wichita Falls Ryder, and Ryder Raiders have a 31-14 lead at the half. Midlothian Heritage beating up on Cleburne in the fourth quarter, 56-7. Longview with a 35-7 lead over Marshall. And moving back into Frisco, district opponent Frisco Independence trailing tonight. They're playing Frisco Heritage as they trail by 40 in the second half, 43-3. Heritage with the lead over Independence. Grapevine playing Azle. That's a tight one in the second quarter, 14-13. Azle with the lead. Grapevine is Argyle's next opponent. In week 3, they will play the Mustangs here at home in front of the home crowd. And that's going to do it for 5A. I do want to mention Crandall beating Coffin 22-15. And those are some of the scores around the Metroplex as Argyle finds himself in a big hole at the half, 35-0. As we look at some of the stats in the first half. And for a while there, it was nothing but touchdowns for Lovejoy, as on their first 4 possessions they scored touchdowns before Argyle forces a punt. But then a fumbled snap sets Lovejoy up in great field position, and they score 3 plays later. And it's been all Lovejoy. And offensively, Argyle just seeming to step on their own foot. They can't really get a rhythm through the passing game. They've overthrown a couple of receivers. Had some untimely penalties, had the fumbled snap. Not putting 2 and 2 together is the Argyle offense tonight. Defensively, you're looking at a really talented Leopards offense. Really good quarterback in Hondo Franklin has found some open receivers. Dalen McCutcheon with a one-handed touchdown grab from 5 yards out. Parker Livingston, haven't seen a ton of him tonight, but he did show his prowess on a one-handed catch up the left sideline. And it's been all Lovejoy tonight, 35-0. As that's going to wrap up the 407 Barbecue Halftime Show. We're going to take one more break, and here on the other side, myself and Robert Hudgens and Clark McNulty will get you ready for the second half. This is Eagle Football, and it's brought to you by the Argyle Eagles Booster Club.
This broadcast is made possible by the generous support of our corporate advertising sponsors who have enabled Argyle ISD athletic programs to achieve many exceptional accomplishments, including state championships in multiple sports and 10 straight Lone Star Cups. These sponsorships remain the primary source of funding for the Booster Club, which directs the expenditures towards Argyle athletics and clubs at the high school and middle school level. Your corporate sponsorship provides the best opportunity for our student athletes to reach their full potential here at Argyle ISD, and in return, we offer numerous advertising packages which fit your budget to brand your business with high visibility in the stadiums or right here on these airwaves. Do you want to be a sponsor and support the athletics here at Argyle ISD? Contact Brian and Shelley Stone at aebc.sponsorship@gmail.com to begin your support. Go Eagles!
couple minutes to go here in halftime. Lovejoy leading Argyle 35-0. As I welcome back in my broadcast partner, Robert Hudgens. And we mentioned at the half, Robert, that Argyle offense kind of stepping on their own foot. Can't really run the football, missing a couple of receivers. If you're trying to look for a little bit of a bright spot, you could kind of see where if this offense gets clicking, they can move the ball on some people.
You're right, and that's the thing about it is right now, I mean, are you attributing it to youth and exuberance? Are you attributing it to, or are you saying it's inexperience? Or are you just saying it's first home game jitters? I don't know, but like you said, they are getting in their own way, but they are having spurts of really good plays, especially whenever they're just trying to, like I said earlier, trying to dink and dunk, picking up something across the middle, a screen pass. The one thing is when you go for those home run balls are just you got to be perfect on time. You got to put it right into the receiver's hands, and this Lovejoy, they're defenders. They're really, really good defenders, and so yes, I could see them if there's a lot of things they can clean up. That's the best thing about the first half is that it's over with. They were able to go in, look at some things, get in their offensive and defensive groups, and work on some things in the second half. So hey, listen, I hope one of the things they do is come out and they are able to take control of the ball, take control of the possessions, clean up some of the mistakes, get that all out of their systems, and hopefully just win this second half. That's all we're looking to do.
Yeah, just try to build on something, right? A turnover, a good-looking drive, just something to build into next week. And something that we've been talking about is a pretty tough way to start your season. The number one team in the state, the Melissa Cardinals, and top 5 team in Lovejoy. And I think they should really be battling for that number 1 spot. I mean, they don't really have a weakness on that side, does Lovejoy. So you seem to be going against the cream of the crop in 5A, which is no excuse, but I don't think you should, be hanging your hat just yet. This is the cream of the crop. I think we'll find out a lot more in these next 2 non-district games as the Eagles host Grapevine here at this stadium next week before traveling down south to take on the Montgomery Bears to close out non-district. And then that's when things begin to matter, is when district play kicks in. And Robert, you sent a couple kids through this program, and I know there's a lot of extra import placed on those district games, so for good reason, but it seems to be that's when the real season starts.
You're right, and again, the top 4 teams from each district go to the playoffs, and so you're like, okay, well, you just have to score in the top 4 to at least go to the postseason. But for Argyle, we're so used to and have such a great track record in the district games, and so we want to continue on with that. District is where you're going against the people that you live around, and that's what you really gear for. These games, yes, they mean something, but it's preseason, so.
Beckham Kimbrell to kick off for Argyle as Lovejoy will begin with the first possession of the second half. Jalen Lott takes it from the 1-yard line, running between the hashes out to the Argyle 23 before he's brought down by Xavier Sanchez. This will be where Lovejoy begins in the second half, as probably will get most of the starters for maybe 1 or 2 more drives for Lovejoy, as quarterbacking this operation is Hondo Franklin. Running back Dante Dean, receivers Dalen McCutcheon, Parker Livingston, and a little bit of Jalen Lott. Bear Tinney is the tight end, and Will Fry, Brady McKnight, Brandon Monroe, and Braden Gibson as your offensive lineman, as the Lovejoy lost Tegan Braithwaite early in the first quarter. Going to see who's going to replace him, but it is Franklin back at quarterback for Lovejoy as they will begin the second half. Their first possession beginning at their own 23-yard line. Not the way I don't think you want to start the second half, is Lovejoy is going to have to call a timeout. Defensively for Argyle, it looks like it's going to be Logan Gregory, Tyson O'Neill, Brendan Hickman along the defensive front. Devin Owen is playing more running back than linebacker tonight, as taking his place as Hudson Immaterio back for the Eagles. Bud Petter, Max Bland at linebacker, Garrett Westrom, Nathaniel Bruce, and Xavier Sanchez at safety, and Micah Roberts and Colton Rockamore are your corners as Lovejoy calls a timeout, just a little bit out of sorts before they begin this possession, the first possession of the second half, as Argyle, the home team tonight, wearing their red jerseys with white numbers, white helmets, gray pants with a red, white, and black stripe along the side. Lovejoy, the road team, in their white jerseys, red numbers, silver tops, and silver pants with black and red striping along the side. Picture Ohio State for Lovejoy tonight, as they do seem to be settled. Franklin back in the shotgun, 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Motions Tinney in motion, and will dump it out into the left flat. And we've seen this a lot, as this flat pass goes for 10, 11 yards before the Eagles can touch him. And that is Ethan Nelson on the dump off, and that's going to be a quick first down for Lovejoy. Maxwell Bland on the tackle. That's an easy first down for Lovejoy, just a little simple pass out in the left flat.
You know what, and that's one of the things they are finding is just they're getting a lot of these guys in space and these little simple flats out into the pass out into the flats.
Handoff, Nelson running left, running into Bland. Bland holds him up until his reinforcements arrive. And that will go down for about a gain of 2 along the left side.
I will say Max Bland has been a bright spot for this defense. He's going to end up with quite a few tackles tonight. Looks great in there, doing a great job of keeping Lovejoy honest.
Max Bland playing the middle linebacker position, just a sophomore. So will rack up a ton of tackles in his career if he continues on this path. Lovejoy, 2nd and 6, handoff left. It's Williams along the left end and makes a man miss across the 50 and into Argyle territory at the 49. We've got another flag, and this looks like it's going to be holding again on Lovejoy on the outside. They were called for that for a couple times in the first half. Here's Bill Theodore.
Holding on the offense, number 72. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat, 2nd down.
That wasn't on the outside. I was an offensive lineman, but Robert, still, we've seen a number of holding penalties on Lovejoy tonight.
I was expecting him to call 83 again, but yeah, you're right. That's one way they've done a great job of getting open is by holding on those edges.
That goes on the right guard, Brandon Moore, as that will push Lovejoy back to the Argyle 27, where they face 2nd and 17. It's Franklin and Williams in the backfield, 3 receivers right. Franklin claps, hits the snap, and a quick pass to McCutcheon, who ran a slant. McCutcheon makes a few men miss, and he's sprung free along the right sideline. Across the 50 into the Argyle 40, and finally brought down by Xavier Sanchez. Not until he rolls until the Argyle 35, a gain of 38 on 2nd and 17.
I'm telling you, they are running these crossing routes as they're a work of art. They're a very well-coached team.
Lovejoy still moving fast. There's a handoff and a whistle. Whistle came in before the play, and it'll be a false start on Lovejoy.
I think that's the first false start we've seen all night, believe it or not. You know, we've seen offsides. I think that's the first false start.
Illegal formation on the offense on 11-man run set before the snap. 5-yard penalty remains, first down.
And that's the downfall of running fast, right? As you'll see a lot of these procedure penalties as that backs them up 5 back to the Argyle 40. 1st and 15, but these long distances haven't meant much to this Leopards offense. 3 receivers left. Franklin looking left, fires in the slot, caught by Nelson. And Nelson fights his way to the 31 before he's brought down by a host of Eagles led by Nathaniel Bruce. That's a gain about 9. That'll make it 2nd and 6.
I'm interested to see the reason why we're giving them such a cushion on that outside. We're playing close in man coverage on that outside. You know, they're giving them at least a 5, almost a 10-yard drop.
Argyle nearly jumps on the fake count, but does get back as Lovejoy looks to the sideline.
See 18 over here. That is, he's again got 10 yards.
Franklin hands to Williams, running left, bounces outside, jukes, and brought down, but not until he gains a first down, brought down by Luke Lane on the outside. But another Leopards first down. But again, Robert, you're faced with 1st and 15, and in 2 plays, gain a first down.
They're executing. They are just doing the things that we're not, and you just got to hand it to them. They look like they're just clicking on all cylinders tonight.
9 minutes to go in this third quarter. Lovejoy leads 35-0 and driving. Another quick pass to the right slot, caught by Nelson, flag down. Nelson is battling towards the first down, but let's see what this flag is going to be after Garrett Westrom finally brings Nelson down. Been a busy night for these officials. Let's see what the call is.
Pass interference on the offense, number 12. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, remains first down.
That's your referee, Bill Theodore. Chris Thames is an umpire. Line judges are Thomas Bean and Durwood Manley. Side judge Bryant Warren, field judge Brad Vick, and your back judge tonight is Kevin Yarborough. As another Lovejoy penalty will back them up, this time all the way back to the Argyle 37. They've got a 1st and 25, but like we mentioned, these long downs haven't provided much of a wall in front of them. Spread formation for Lovejoy. Franklin. A little trouble with the snapping. He's got to just fall on it. Right on the Eagle logo near midfield. And that's a gift from Lovejoy to Argyle. Unforced error there. They lose 8. All the way back to the Argyle 46 now. So their stiffest test will come. It's 2nd and 34 for Lovejoy. Let's see if they can pick this up. Franklin takes the handoff and will get sacked. He's sandwiched. 2 Eagle defenders there. McMade, Manning, and Brendan Hickman on the sack, and that will push Lovejoy back into their own territory, loss of 9.
See a little momentum on the Argyle side here, and you see they're getting up and got almost a little swagger for the first time that we've seen tonight, and actually in quite a while. It's nice to see this defense coming together. Let's just hope. One thing we cannot have at this time is a defensive pass interference or anything that can give them automatic first down with a 3rd and forever.
Don't hear this very much. 3rd and 43. And another bad snap. Franklin picks it up. He's going to try to run with it, but will be brought down. The first one there for Argyle was Jack Teller. And Max Bland in there and a couple others there. And we got another flag. Boy, this may be another unsportsmanlike conduct. And officials looking at Lovejoy, so well, they may be faced with a 4th and forever here.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense, number 72. 15-yard penalty from the dead ball spot. 4th down.
4th penalty on the drive for Lovejoy. And a couple bad snaps, a couple penalties in this back. Let's see. This is going to get marked at the Lovejoy 22. They would need the Argyle 12 for a first down. And looking at the scoreboard, there is a 4th and 66. I don't know if I've ever seen that. Oh, Lovejoy back to punt, obviously, here on this 4th down. As Franklin will punt, and this will go out near midfield. That wasn't even close to the original line of scrimmage. What a gift there by Lovejoy. As, guys, Clark, get in on this. We've been talking about this Argyle momentum. We need to see it. That was a good stand there by the Argyle defense. Need some points on this drive.
The mood on the sideline was not what I expected. They did not look like, if you wouldn't have looked at the scoreboard, you couldn't tell by looking at their faces, and I really like to see that. Max Tastic moving to the middle linebacker rather than the edge that he was last week, really making a lot of noise and getting comfortable.
Argyle starts at their own 44. Handoff, Owen up the middle, bounces left, and brought down at the 48-yard line. Devin Owen playing some running back tonight as Owen carries it and brought down by the Ohio State commit Peyton Pierce.
Again, let's control the clock. Let's do what we can to punch him in the mouth, see what happens.
Gailey, Owen again, straight up the middle, runs into a wall at the line of scrimmage. He battles his way ahead for about 2. But Argyle not running the ball like we've seen in years past as Lovejoy's Isaac Leonard attacking.
I think now's the perfect time for something to your slot receiver because he's got a 15-yard cushion here.
3rd and 4. Argyle needs to convert here. You're probably in 4-down territory anyway. Gailey hands to Owen, running left, got a first down, and then some. Brought down at the Lovejoy 42-yard line. Peyton Pierce on the stop again, but not before Argyle's Devin Owen gains a first down for the Eagles into Lovejoy territory at the 43-yard line.
like to see the momentum that we're doing. Owen's doing a great job of just keeping his feet moving and driving forward.
Gailey, fake snap, and may have gotten his own guy. As this appears to be a false start, I'll let Bill Theodore tell you.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, 79. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
It's the left guard, Chanson Bowen. Back things back to the Lovejoy 48. These long distances haven't been a problem for Lovejoy. They have for Argyle, as they're now faced with a 1st and 15. Working right to left. John Gailey fakes the handoff, looking left. And now we'll finally throw it deep left. He's got Grudzielanek downfield and a lot of contact. Ball falls incomplete, but it will be a pass interference on R.J. McIntosh of Lovejoy. This will set Argyle up in good territory.
Well, let's check on that, Blake, because I think they were both fighting for the ball, so I'd be interested if they may even call Argyle for the pass interference.
Don't tell me that. Let's remain optimistic.
Pass interference on the defense, number 2. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, an automatic first down.
Well, you'd love a spot foul there. That would have put you at the 2, but instead 15 yards ahead, but more importantly, an automatic first down. Ball at the Lovejoy 33. Argyle's got a 1st and 10. Gailey with Owen to his right. Gailey claps to fake hike again. Lovejoy does not jump. He's got 2 receivers outright. Now moves Owen to his left. Gailey looking at the sideline. Now claps, gets the snap. Hands to Owen, up the middle, runs over a man at the line of scrimmage and barrels ahead for a couple more. Down inside the Lovejoy 30. Owen finally brought down by Peyton Pierce.
Hard-nosed running from Owen. I mean, I tell you, he is a beast. He does not like to go down.
2nd and 6. Fake to Owen. Gailey out to the right flat. Kreckler in the flat makes 1-man miss. Makes 2-man miss. Near the first down. Finally brought down. It'll be a 3rd and 1 before he's finally dropped by Aaron Marshall. But nice moves after the catch by Jake Kreckler out in the flat.
One thing I did not like to see from that, he was holding that ball too far out from his body. I'm a little worried that that thing could get poked out and ruin this drive.
3rd and 1. Argyle needs another conversion. Handoff, Owen up the middle, stiff arms a man past the line of scrimmage. This will be close. Brought down again by Peyton Pierce as Devin Owen and Peyton Pierce get to know each other on this drive. And it will be a first down, the 2nd Argyle first down of the drive.
Again, these little plays, these things like this, just keep it going. Keep punching in the mouth. Do what Argyle does. Don't try to get fancy.
8th play of the drive, 1st and 10 from the Lovejoy 23-yard line. Clark, I'd like to come down to you next play, see what the line of scrimmage is looking like from the offensive line. Owen runs off tackle left into a host of Lovejoy Leopards, but nice gain of about 7. As Owen barrels ahead, brought down again by Pierce. As Argyle wants to move fast, Pierce has to come off. He lost his hat. Let's see if Argyle can take advantage of that as the Buckeye runs off the field. Gailey hands off to Owen. Got a couple pulling linemen. Owen sneaks ahead. About a gain of 2. It'll be 3rd and short. Clark, are you seeing any more push than normal from the Argyle offensive line?
Not so much the push, but the leverage. These guys, Lovejoy has really been trying to shoot the gaps, and our linemen are just saying, you want to go that way, we'll take you way out that way. And it's starting to work.
McGee on the stop. It's 3rd and short again for Argyle. Third and 1 from the Lovejoy 14. Gailey moves Owen from right to left. Hands off to Owen, up the middle. First down inside the Lovejoy 10. Brought down by Owen McGee. And Argyle with a goal-to-go situation. As Jake Kreckler will take Owen's spot in the backfield on this next play. This is what we talked about, Robert, is Argyle finally some rhythm on offense. Let's see if they can cash in here. Gailey and fake no, it does hand off to Kreckler. He's inside to about the 8. I give him the 9. That's no gain for Kreckler. It's Chase Bogle on the stop for Lovejoy.
You're right. It's just these little momentum, these things that are just moving the ball forward. Don't make the mistakes that they made of the false starts or the holdings and things like that. Just keep the drive going forward.
Got a timeout. As this is going to be a timeout for Lovejoy, and the best Argyle possession of the night. This will be play 13. And Robert, it hasn't been a lot of big plays, but it's been getting into third and manageable and getting the first down.
It's like what we've been saying all along. We don't need the big plays. We don't need to be swinging for the fences on every drive. Let's just keep it going. Just chew up yardage. Get the defense tired, and when you're tired, you start making mistakes. And so they're doing a great job of just pounding the ball, giving what the defense is. Taking what the defense is giving you, and what you'll see, I think, pretty soon is as you wear this defense down, that's going to open up those longer shots. That's going to open up that middle, because Clark made a great point earlier. They're sucking that middle linebacker in. It's going to open that seam wide open for you.
Five straight runs for Argyle as Devin Owen takes a breather on the sideline. It's Jake Kreckler to John Gailey's right. Play 13 of this drive has them inside the Lovejoy 10. It's 2nd and goal from the 8. Gailey claps, fakes, read option keeper. He's nearly drugged down the backfield. He throws the ball away. What a heads-up play by John Gailey. I don't know if that was originally intended to be a pass, as he faked the read option and had a Leopard on his hip as soon as he faked the handoff. Did finally throw it away. Now they drop a flag. As in the area was Will Krysiak. Let's see what the call is.
It's kind of interesting.
Intentional grounding on the offense, number 12. My quarterback was not out of the tackle box. He threw it away under duress. It's a spot foul, loss of down, 3rd down.
So he was still in the tackle box. Now, Robert, it was clearly thrown away. He had no intention of throwing that to Krysiak, although he was in the area, and it's a tough call.
Well, you're right, and he is under duress, so he's not going to be. It's not going to hit the guy, but he was within 3 yards of hitting that wide receiver over there.
So this will push Argyle back to the Lovejoy 22. Argyle faithful didn't like the call. You always like to look at the coaches in that situation. They didn't really seem to argue too much, so it'll stand. Gailey fires over the middle. Gasperson, he's got him open. Inside the 5, down to the 3-yard line. Great play by John Gailey to hit McGuire Gasperson over the middle before he's tackled by Jalen Lott down at the 2-yard line. Yeah, you got to go here.
Great
4th and goal from the 2. Gailey to Kreckler, whistles, and this appears to be a timeout, as it will be an injury timeout as Lovejoy's 58. Isaac Leonard took a knee, maybe to slow the Argyle offense, but that'll slow things here as we will re-rack as Argyle will have a 4th and goal from the 2. 2:04 remaining in this 3rd quarter. Argyle trailing 35-0 to Lovejoy.
As much as you hate to see that being done by the other team, that was a very heads-up play by their defensive lineman to take a knee and to slow us down.
So here we go. Devin Owen back into the game. He's to John Gailey's left. Gailey claps, fakes the handoff to Owen on a keeper. He's got space and he's got a touchdown. All aboard Argyle. First touchdown tonight. John Gailey, 2-yard touchdown run.
You could see them setting that up from 8 plays ago. He walks in untouched without anybody within 3 yards of him. Great call by the offensive coordinator.
Finally, life on the Argyle sideline and in the Argyle stands. Their first touchdown tonight comes at the 1:40 mark of the 3rd quarter. PAT on the way, and good. 35-7. Now Argyle trailing Lovejoy. 1:40 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Let's take a timeout. 35-7 Lovejoy. We'll be back.
407 Barbecue is a proud supporter of the Argyle Eagles. Named the very best barbecue in all of DFW several times over, 407 Barbecue offers an array of award-winning smoked meats, including mouth-watering brisket and ribs. No plate is complete without one of their world-famous sides and a bowl of Grandma's banana pudding. Family owned and operated by your neighbors right here in Argyle. See their menu and catering options online at 407bbq.com or see for yourself at I-35W exit 407. 407 Barbecue.
This is Billy Klein. DFW Door Repair was repairing, restoring, and replacing doors in houses all over town when a couple of guys from Austin showed up and said, "Billy, we need to take this nationwide." I said, "I don't know how to do that." They said, "We do." And that's how YourNewDoor.com was born. I'm telling you this in case it all works out and we become a big deal nationwide. You'll be able to say, I was there the day it was born. Billy and Jennifer help sponsor our ball games. Check it out, yournewdoor.com.
35-7 is your score. Lovejoy over Argyle as a nearly full orange moon comes up over Argyle Middle School. As the kickoff is on the way, and Jalen Lott on a run catches it at the 5, out to the numbers on the right side, and will finally step out of bounds at the Argyle 28. 23-yard return by Jalen Lott, but Argyle's probably best drive of the season, is certainly the longest from a play stance, gets Argyle on the board. Here's Robert with the drive summary.
This drive summary is brought to you by Cinch Cleaners. It was a 14-play drive lasting 5 minutes and 20 seconds, consisted of 11 runs and 3 passes, culminated with a Gailey touchdown scamper into the end zone.
And that's more of what we're typically used to Argyle-wise, is a lot of runs, right? Setting up a couple passes, and that looked like the Argyle offense we're used to as Lovejoy takes over at the Argyle their own 27. 1st and 10, a run. Off right guard is stuffed. That would be a gain. I'm going to say no gain. It's Bud Petter there with the stop.
Well, it's great to hear the Argyle faithful getting back into it and getting some noise going out here, because they were about as quiet as a church on Sunday morning.
Dante Dean on the carry. He's got another one here. He's contacted in the backfield, shoves off 2 Eagle tacklers, and then met by a flock of them near the line of scrimmage. Bud Petter's there. Malik Bracy is there. Tyson O'Neill is there. It's a gain, no gain again. Good two stands here by Argyle defensively. Forces a 3rd and 10 by Lovejoy. No Parker Livingston. He's only played a handful of snaps. He did make an impact, but haven't seen as much of the Texas commit as we'd expected. 3rd and 10, their own 27. Lovejoy. Franklin back to pass, throws it too high, almost intercepted. And that will be a 3 and out for Lovejoy, so a little bit of a heartbeat for Argyle. Franklin had a man in his face, didn't have a lot of vision there, airmailed the pass. And a really good stop for Argyle defensively. That's back-to-back stops. And not a ton of time left, Robert, but, a quick touchdown here. It's 35-14. At least looks a lot better.
Exactly. And again, it's all about the momentum.
Franklin back to punt. Wobbler out near midfield. That is kicked into the offensive line group. We'll see where they spot it. But in the meantime, let's go down to Clark. Clark, what are you seeing down there?
You know what, these guys are fired up. The coaches are coaching harder than I've seen them coach in a long time. And I'll tell you, after the last 6 quarters of football that Argyle's experienced, if we come out of this 3rd quarter, it's with a 7-0 score in the 3rd. I'm telling you, that's a victory in itself, and we need to be keeping track of that and build on that.
Well, the offense has a good chance to do so. 14 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. They will begin in Lovejoy territory after an 18-yard punt. Puts the Eagle offense beginning at the Lovejoy 45. Argyle working right to left. Thank you so much for joining us. Blake Jones, Robert Hudgens with Clark McNulty on the sideline. Jack Brown is our producer. Eric Capper is our spotter. Gailey. Hands. Watson Bell with his first carry tonight off left tackle. Short gain before he's brought down by Chase Bogle. Excuse me, that's not Watson Bell. It's Preston Slayton. That's Preston Slayton's first carry, and that will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. A little bit of life for Argyle in that 3rd quarter, but the Leopards still on top of the Eagles, 35-7. 4th quarter is on your way next.
A trusted community staple for over 15 years, Rapid Med Urgent Care is more than just an urgent care. From well checks to minor emergency care, our goal is to keep you well or get you feeling better sooner. We also now offer Rapid Wellness, providing therapeutic IV infusions, injections, weight loss options, and allergy testing and treatment. Walk-ins are welcome, or visit rapidmed.com and book your visit today. Rapid Med Urgent Care, your hometown emergency care doctors with Texas-sized hearts and proud supporters of our Argyle Eagles.
Buying or selling a home is likely your greatest investment. Lori Jacobson and the Legacy Group believe in making the process easy and simple for your family. Whether you're moving into your forever home in Argyle, need help remodeling or staging, or are a first-time buyer, Lori's dedicated to making sure all of her clients walk away from the transaction satisfied. She has a saying that you walk in as a client, but you leave as a friend. So it's no secret why she's been named Best Real Estate Agent by D Magazine yet again. Lori Jacobson encourages all the Argyle Eagles to leave a legacy both on and off the field. Go Eagles.
Bailey back to pass up the right sideline. Ball is caught by Will Grudzielanek. They finally connect. And this is a big one down to the Lovejoy 2-yard line. That is a 53-yard connection between Bailey and Grudzielanek. Sets Argyle up on the doorstep. Bailey claps. Now to Preston Slayton. He's hammered behind the line. I thought they would have given Grudzielanek the 2. He had done some tiptoeing along the sideline, but they mark him out at the 4. And this Preston Slayton run will push them back a little bit further, closer to the 10. That was a big loss on that first down play, but Argyle still second and goal from the 9.
Nice thing that does is that does give us a little bit more space to get a little to spread things out, possibly get something across the middle.
Bailey claps. And hands to Kreckler. No, he keeps it on the read option. He's in again. All aboard. John Gailey's second rushing touchdown tonight.
I tell you what, if you've got a recipe, stick with it. You know, I mean, that's one of the things they're finding is these guys are really sucking up in the middle and just opening up a bootleg for Gailey just to run untouched right into the end zone.
Gailey, not the self-admittedly, I talked to him last week, not the greatest athlete on the team, but being very smart when he is keeping these read options. The PAT is up and good. We'll keep it here, 35-14 now. Lovejoy still with a 21-point lead with 11:16 remaining in this one. And before we get our drive summary, Robert, let's run down some of our second half sponsors.
Would love to, and we're super excited to have all these sponsors again this year with Sherry Brunson over at Cinch Cleaners, with Dr. Susan Randall over at Argyle Dental, are one of our favorite people in Argyle. Marge Bunn at Snooty Pig, Orthopedic Associates of Flower Mound, Brent Bowen, attorney at law, Argyle Family Chiropractic and Dr. Rex Road over there, Point Bank, Core Cultural Studio, Kim Redding with Magnolia Realty, BB Living Harvest. We also have Shout Out Promotions and
Shout out.
There you go, Brian and Shelly Stone. A-Town Apparel and the greatness of Connie Johnson. Also, our good old buddy Kenny Arthur, who we want to give a shout out tonight with Chick-fil-A. Rich McDowell with Synergy One Lending, and we'll get to the rest here after a bit.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you to those great sponsors.
Speaking of shout outs,
sure.
My wife said that I had to give a shout out to three lovely ladies in Shannon Hunt, Tina Zarcone, and Nancy Dotson. They're listening to as Argyle faithful, and I really appreciate them tuning in tonight.
Yeah, thank you to everyone sticking with us, whether you're watching on YouTube or checking us out on the radio call. Thank you so much for spending your Friday evening with us as this Argyle kickoff will matriculate out of bounds, and Lovejoy will begin with good field position. 11:16 on the clock in the fourth quarter. Argyle still a mountain to climb as they trail 35-14.
Well, that last, sorry.
They take the ball at the 30-yard line, first down.
Lovejoy will start at the 30.
Well, it's nice to finally have a quick shot, and with 56 seconds and 4 plays, Argyle takes it in with a 53-yard pass in that, and just to watch Gailey take it in again. You know, it's great to see that Argyle is starting to hit their stride with some of these scoring drives.
Finally, some life on the sideline. I mean, you know, your chances of coming back in this game are slim to non-existent, I guess. But still, like we said at the half, just you're playing for pride, right? And you want to see some things go right.
Win the half.
Right. Lovejoy begins at their 30. Begin with a run right off tackle. That is Kalen Williams on the carry and Tyson O'Neill on the tackle. Will be 2nd and 5. But I mean, we talked at the half. The stadium was dead. The mood on the sideline was bleak. But yeah, getting some things to work on here, and a little bit of confidence here in the second half for Argyle. Franklin hands to Williams again. Williams running off left tackle and brought down hard by Xavier Sanchez. And let's go down to Clark. Clark, what was so good about that tackle?
Well, it's the first time I've seen anybody just go in hard and wrap up and drive them to the ground. That's what you have to do. You can't just go in and bump into them. You have to take them to the ground.
And Clark, where did they hit him?
Right at the belt. Right at the belt. You cannot get these guys down. They're D1 prospects. You have to hit them around the waist and get them to the ground.
3rd and 2 upcoming for the Leopards, and Lovejoy's got to call a timeout as they were bumping up against the play clock. And yeah, finally the stadium coming alive.
And that's their final timeout of the half. Well, Blake, if you don't mind, let me go ahead and finish reading off our glorious sponsors here for this evening. As I was saying, Rich McDowell with Synergy One Lending, Dr. David Dyer and Argyle Orthodontics, Longhorn Screens, Shades, and Shutters, Argyle Rehab Chiropractic, and Dr. Cliff Collins, Argyle Fine Arts Preschool, Shelley Wiley, NXT Mortgage powered by U Mortgage, Joe Bartram, Lamar National Bank, the Sonny Darden Group, Go Vision, Shelby Black at Salon 377, Amy Cook over at the Legacy Group, JLBB Company, Independent Financial, Sonic of Argyle. Sonic sounds really good right about now. Argyle Party and Gift, NWC General Construction, Alpha Women's Wellness, Fairway Independent Mortgage, and Net Profit Advisors. Thank you guys so much for making all of this possible.
All right, we got 3rd and 2 from the Lovejoy 37. Handoff, Williams off left, makes a man miss. He's got the first down across the Lovejoy 45, and that will be a Leopards first down. Had a chance at him near the line of scrimmage, but he did break through, and it will be a Leopards first down.
It's one of those things, you're not going to just stop them on everything, so it's good. We're making contact in the backfield. We're getting some push. We're making some things happen. I still see a lot of great things with this Argyle defense, and what they're going to see is there's no quitting these guys.
Gain of 8 gives Lovejoy a first down. It's another carry by Williams off left tackle. Fakes, and that gets out to the outside, and another good tackle, that by Nathaniel Bruce. But a gain of about 7 for Kalen Williams. Will give Lovejoy a 2nd and short.
And just something I would like the officials to keep an eye on is number 12 over here for Lovejoy is holding each and every play that bounces out to the outside. But I guess one guy's holding is another guy's blocking.
2nd and 3. It's Williams again up the middle. Tries to bounce out to the right side, but one of the Eagles got a hold of him, didn't let go. That was Logan Gregory. Got his left arm on him and did not let Kalen Williams go, and stops him just before the first down mark. It'll be 3rd and 1. Robert, you got to expect another run, as it's been 3 straight for Lovejoy.
You know what we should dial up, especially if they're going to play in a shotgun? How about one of those fumble plays that they had last drive?
They call a halfback dive up the middle. It's Dante Dean who springs free for a first down along the right side inside the Argyle 40 before Michael Roberts can drag him down.
Dante looks like
about 8.
Oh, I'm sorry. Dante definitely looks like one of those guys, one of those low runners. Reminds me a lot of the player from LaGrange a few years ago that J.K. Dobbins. That kid reminds me a lot of J.K. Dobbins, the way that he runs.
Luckily, J.K. didn't play that night, but
Praise
did go on.
the Lord.
as Dante Dean stumbles ahead for about a gain of 4, brought down by Xavier Sanchez. And I wonder if you're saying that because JK went on to play for Ohio State, and Lovejoy Leopards uniforms tonight look a lot like the Buckeyes. So yeah, I can see where you see J.K. Dobbins in him. But talking about these big recruits, Peyton Pierce is headed to Ohio State. He's been playing linebacker tonight. Some running back, but we haven't seen a lot of Parker Livingston, the Texas commit, at receiver. And we got a whistle and maybe a timeout by Argyle. Let's see. Bill Theodore wants to put his mic back on. Here we go.
Timeout, Argyle.
Yeah,
Timeout.
Had to be Argyle, right? Lovejoy is out of them. But Robert, you read off our second half sponsors, and we had a lot of them, and that's a good thing. It takes a village, right, to get these broadcasts off and running, and want to send a special thanks to our special sponsors for making this thing possible. Of course, they not only make this possible, but those really awesome, slick-looking uniforms that the Eagles have got on. Your sponsorship money goes to a lot of sports here at Argyle, and we thank you for all of those wonderful sponsors that have helped this Argyle athletic program thrive. As 7:55 remaining in this fourth quarter, Argyle trailing Lovejoy 35-14. As Argyle called timeout defensively, as Lovejoy is on the run here, as they've used the ground game to convert a couple third downs, and they are now into Argyle territory at the 34. And Clark, you may have to help me here, but there is a tall leopard in a boot. I hate for that to be Parker Livingston. Lovejoy lost their left guard due to injury early in the first quarter, and would hate to see a prize commit miss some time for the Leopards here down the stretch. We're back in action. Franklin hands to, it's a big running back for Lovejoy. That's Peyton Pierce. The linebacker headed to Ohio State, been playing some running back. Got the carry there, stumbles ahead for a couple. Sets up a third and about 4 for Lovejoy. Dante Dean will check back in for Pierce. It's about 7:25 on the clock in this fourth quarter. An Argyle stop and score could make things interesting. Franklin fakes, rolls out right, throws it deep to McCutcheon, and broken up. And it's on the coverage there was Luke Lane. And Luke Lane, more so just in a good spot, as that ball, I think, deflected either off of his shoulder pads or helmet, but good coverage there by Lane on McCutcheon. And this now sets up a 4th and 4 for Lovejoy.
That was interesting, the way that ball came out. It almost looked like it was coming out watermelon style side to side, but it made it all the way, and it was actually a very accurate pass.
Franklin couldn't get a good pass off due to the pressure by Hudson and Materio. Here we go, 4th and 4. Franklin's got a man open. It's Dante Dean in the flat, and no one's going to catch him. And that's going to be a 32-yard touchdown for Lovejoy on 4th and 4 backbreaker for Argyle.
Yes, that's just one of those there. I don't know what if we were committing to, to something long and going for the home run ball over the top, and they just pass it on the flat. He was wide open and was untouched going in for 30 yards.
This is what we've been talking about, right? You get glimpses, and then Argyle shoots himself in the foot. As Dante Dean was wide open out in the flat on a little wheel route. Franklin found him for a 32-yard touchdown, and the extra point will make this a 42-14 Lovejoy lead. He's got a sense there that a couple things were going right for Argyle. Defense had gotten a couple stops. And really, a 32-yard touchdown on paper looks bad, and it is. However, that's just one missed assignment. You fix that, you may have gotten off the field.
Right, and there are things here and there. There's going to be so much to review on film. A lot of times when you look at a 35-0 halftime deficit, by the end of the game, you're like going, we're just going to throw this film away. We're just going to start over, not even look at it, and just go to the next game, prepare for it. I don't see that happening with this game. There's a lot of positives that they're going to be able to say, hey, this was the great thing to do. This is the thing that we can point to that we did well and we can build on. And then, of course, there's a lot of things that they can definitely fix. But I really see, like we said, the fight back coming in this second half, winning the third quarter. let's see if we can win the fourth quarter. You know, we can score another 14 points pretty quickly. So we're looking at little things like that to build on for this young team, and it could pay huge dividends come district play and hopefully playoffs.
Lovejoy's kickoff will be fair caught by Will Krysiak along the sideline. May like to see where that thing would have bounced. Maybe could have gotten a start at the 30 rather than the 25, but that will be where Argyle begins their possession with 7:07 remaining in this one. Lovejoy with a 42-14 lead. As it's still starters for Argyle. Back-to-back possessions have ended in John Gailey rushing touchdowns. Last one set up heavily due to a really long connection between Gailey and Krysiak. Krysiak, for what it's worth, has gotten behind the Lovejoy defense several times tonight. Argyle will start here at their own 25. Gailey in an empty set. Claps, receives the snap, looking to his right and fires deep along the right side. It's Krysiak. He's shoved before the pass, can get to him, and no call. Ball falls incomplete. But a lot of contact there between Krysiak and McIntosh of Lovejoy.
I think, you know what, it was good that the ref kind of swallowed his whistle right there, because frankly, Krysiak pushed off a bit. And so I think that's where you hear the crowd complaining about that a bit, and that's fine, but he initiated the contact.
Ball falls incomplete. It will be 2nd and 10 for the Argyle offense. Owen moves from left to the right now of John Gailey and will receive the handoff, running left, tries to get outside, but drugged down behind the line of scrimmage. That will be a tackle for loss by Kevin McGee. Ball back to the Argyle 23. Eagles at a 3rd and 12. Gailey out of the shotgun. Back to pass, now has to roll right, avoiding pressure. Now looks to the middle of the field. The Gasperson has the ball knocked away. Nice pass breakup by McIntosh. And that will be, appears to be a 3 and out by Argyle.
You know what, if he had just seen McGuire Gasperson just a little bit earlier, he was there. That was a good pass, but the defensive back just did a great job of keying on him and met him right when the ball got there.
Argyle will punt from the 23-yard line. As it is Jackson Green punting with his right foot back to the Lovejoy 40, where it's fair caught by Dalen McCutcheon. And with 6:20 remaining, Lovejoy will take over with the ball and a 28-point lead.
Again, you know, defense has stepped up, done a good job for the most part this second half. I mean, just that one play on the last drive in the broken coverage is the difference between shutting them out so far this second half and giving up that touchdown. If they can come back and do the same things and some of the great things that they were doing in the last couple of drives, again, things to build on.
Lovejoy takes over at their own 40, handoff. Kalen Williams up ahead, about a yard. As thank you for joining us, whether on YouTube or on the radio side. Special shout out to the Talon crew running the cameras and the video stream tonight, headed by Stacy Short. Appreciate their hard work for our audience tonight. As for the radio side, the broadcasters, I'm Blake Jones. Robert Hudgens is to my left. Clark McNulty is somewhere down there on the sideline. 2nd and 9 for Lovejoy. Handoff, Kalen Williams makes a man miss in the backfield. Now out to the right and up ahead for 3 or 4 yards before he is brought down by Garrett Westrom. As Max Bland was in pursuit as well. He's up ahead to the 44-yard line. As this will make a 3rd and 6 for the Leopards.
It's one thing, this is where we've been vulnerable, is these third and kind of mids. Is you'll see our defensive line, and in defense, either they're going to commit to one thing, and it's typically they're going to just try to commit to that run, thinking that they're just going to chew clock. And they'll get us for those flat passes right here, just like the play action pass.
Franklin to Tinney, brought down immediately at the line of scrimmage by Xavier Sanchez. And Robert, yeah, they were well aware of the pass to the flat as Franklin found Tinney, but Tinney couldn't even look ahead before Sanchez brought him down. No gain on the play. 4th and 6 for Lovejoy, and here comes the punt team.
Great job in coverage right there, staying where you're at, not committing or over-committing, keeping your shoulders square to the line of scrimmage and driving through that player. He was a much smaller than Tinney, and going up against him and brought him down right where he caught the ball. Great job.
And good job of tackling there by Sanchez. Right, Clark? He hit him where you've been screaming that they hit him all night. As Lovejoy back to punt. Franklin, good-looking punt here. As Kreckler, that's Nathaniel Bruce. We'll watch it just roll inside the 10, down at the 10. A 46-yard punt. Argyle will take over with 4:18 remaining in this one. Lovejoy leading Argyle 42-14. But looking at positives from this game, Argyle found a little bit of offensive confidence there in the third quarter. But in the first half, it was just a couple missed opportunities, and this game began to snowball, much like the Melissa game did. Argyle led 7-0 after the first quarter at Melissa before things began to spiral. And here is just Argyle defense had no answer for the Lovejoy offense that scored on 4 straight possessions in the first half before taking a 35-0 halftime lead. Things currently stand 42-14, Lovejoy with the lead as Argyle takes over at their own 10-yard line. Handoff up the middle to Devin Owen, and Owen gains 5, and Owen remains down. And officials come over for an injury timeout. Let's hope it's a cramp or something, as Owen is limping off. As go down to Clark, as this game kicked at 94 degrees. Right now it's at 86, and Clark, I hate to say it, but it's doesn't feel too bad.
No, it doesn't.
Considered to what daytime feels like, but what's it been down on the field level?
It has actually been really nice. We've got a wind coming out of the south end zone, and it's very comfortable down here. I don't even have a little bit of lather to me.
A little bit of lather.
How about that alliteration?
How about that illustration?
2nd and 5. Gailey rolls out right, throws the ball out of bounds, incomplete. It's 3rd and 5. Upcoming for the Eagles. A lot of the starters. Kriziak still out there. Gasperson, Hodson, McFall, Kreckler are your skill sets. Gailey is the man. QB1. Looking at 3rd and 5. Argyle offensive line still in the game. Roberts, Bowen, Wilson, Johansson, and Cheney. As Gailey claps. Back to pass. Finds McFall. He's going to have to make some magic after the catch to get the first down as he stumbles ahead, fights his way to the 19. And that will set up a 4th and a long 1. And here come the punt team after Peyton Pierce in on another stop for the Leopards.
You know, it was a good play drawn up. As bad as this sounds, and I know this, but you almost kind of wish they would have gone for it right here because and taken that bootleg just to give them some confidence and to show some swagger. But it's good. This is a smart play.
Punt by Jackson Green, right-footed, sails out of bounds. Lovejoy will take over with 3:11 on the clock. Lovejoy with a big lead, 42-14 over the Eagles. 3:11 remaining in the 4th quarter. After the Green punt went out of bounds at the Argyle 42, so Lovejoy with good starting field position here at the Argyle 42. Just over 3 minutes remaining in this one. And still much of the Argyle starting defense still on the field. Grady Emerson has checked in at corner, as has Carter Wilson along the defensive line. And a new quarterback for Lovejoy. As back under center will be Lenny Droopy. Droopy hands off. That's Dean off left tackle and up ahead. Gain of about 7 before he's brought down by Hudson Immaterio. Max Bland slow to get up.
You know what, Max? Let's just hope he's just tired or just got the wind knocked out of him, because that kid has gone hard all night long. So let's just hope he just something that he just got hit in the breadbasket a little bit. He's holding his stomach there. So let's as
Bland being catered to on the sideline, still on the field, as kind of hoping just to get out of here, right? This game is in hand. Don't want to see any guys get hurt, as Max is up on his feet, walking under his own power off to the sideline. So hopefully just the wind knocked out of him. Also into the game, Jack Teller, nose tackle. Got McCade Manning, outside linebacker. Tyson O'Neill still in there. Bud Petter. Dean again off left tackle. He's got more room on the outside. Brought down by Petter inside the 30. And a first down for Lovejoy.
And you're just looking, especially with this backup quarterback in, they're just going to be, of course, committing to the run, and you're going to see the same thing over and over again. Almost want to see what happens if we were to bring an outside linebacker up on the line of scrimmage.
Dean in the backfield. To the right of Droopy. Gets the handoff. Now it runs left. Now back to the right on a cutback. And is brought down after a gain of 2. Hudson Immaterio on the tackle as we're at the 2-minute mark of the 4th quarter. Lovejoy just running out the clock here. Our player spotlight guest, Thor Johansson, making his way to all the players on the sideline, pumping them up. It was a great chat. I really enjoyed our conversation with Thor Johansson. Really good player spotlight. You need to check it out on the Eagles Nest podcast if you missed it. Dean again off left tackle, makes a man miss. Now out to the outside to the left sideline and pushed out of bounds by Hudson Immaterio. That's going to be another first down. 1:23 on the clock. Lovejoy is running out the clock here. They're inside the red zone. Ball at the Argyle 14. Clock running at 1:10. 15 seconds on the play clock for the Leopards. Droopy trying to get some players in the right spots. Got 3 seconds to do so. They don't have a timeout to burn. And officials will call the delay game. I was curious how long they were going to give them after that 0.
It's number 19. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
That'll back it up. 51 seconds on the clock. Leopards lead the Eagles 42-14 here in front of a now sparse is a word, sparse crowd here at Eagle Stadium. Droopy back in the shotgun. Hands off to Nelson. Nelson off the left tackle. He's got some space inside the 10. Fumbled. Ball squirts around into the Argyle end zone. Picked up and recovered by the Eagles. Be interested to see where they spot this, and they're going to give Argyle a touchback. That's a really good scenario there. I was afraid they were going to put it at the 1.
I honestly think he had it at the 1, but you know, they stuck that helmet right there on that ball for that tackle. Great job by by the defender. Who was it? The one that caused the fumble?
I didn't see who caused the fumble. It looked like maybe Nathaniel Bruce on the recovery. Maybe it was Xavier Sanchez on the force.
Fantastic job of getting in there, getting his head where it needed to be, and making the play.
39 seconds as Argyle takes over. Argyle trails 28. Takes over the new quarterback. Hand off to Preston Slayton, running right, runs into Lott at the line of scrimmage and driven back. And probably be no gain. As Kevin McGee on the stop. As Argyle's new quarterback, Jarrett Wagner, completed a pass last week. He was 1 of 2, 10 yards. As Jalen Lott trying to get off the sideline. He's a little banged up. 4 seconds, Argyle. Last play of the game, handoff, Slayton up the middle, dragged down by the shoulder pads at the line of scrimmage, and that will do it for tonight's ball game, as it was all Lovejoy tonight as they come in and spoil Argyle's 55-game home win streak. That almost doesn't seem right, but the last Argyle home loss was back in 2012 to Abilene Wiley, and their most current here in 2023 to the Lovejoy Leopards, as Lovejoy comes away winners. 42-14 tonight. As coming up next in the Park Place post-game show, we'll get the thoughts from head coach Todd Rogers and wrap this one up from Eagle Stadium. That's the Park Place post-game show on your way next, as Argyle falls tonight to Lovejoy 42-14. The Park Place post-game show is on your way next.
Park Place is proud to support Argyle High School and all you Eagles fans out there. You deserve to feel like a winner, whether you're cheering on your favorite team or shopping for your new favorite car. And at Park Place Lexus Grapevine and Land Rover DFW, you'll enjoy a fully customized luxury dealership experience that'll make you feel like the MVP. So head over to your nearest Park Place dealership or visit parkplace.com and see what makes them the experts in excellence.
Howdy folks, Marty B here, inviting you to come to each of our 4 amazing restaurants. At Marty B's, join us for an outstanding atmosphere of family, food, fun, and entertainment. Or join us at Rustico Wood-Fired Grill and Wine Bar for an intimate date night in a rustic, elegant setting. Looking for a taste of upscale Texas? Join us at 1845, where it's designed like Dallas, but tastes like Fort Worth. Come experience amazing at all of our fine restaurants. And new this summer, put a pep in your two-step at Marty B's Coffee Co., right next to Marty B's restaurant. Look forward to seeing you there.
Move the ball and score on Lovejoy. And Argyle had a little confidence there, but I'm curious what the two of you's takeaways are from tonight's game.
Well, the twos of us, at least for me, 2 of yous. But no,
Twos of yous.
You know, one of the things we said coming out of halftime is how important it is for this young Argyle team to win the half, to just come out here, have little victories. Each down, each drive, chip away. We knew that 35-0 was going to be a pretty tall mountain to try to climb. But if you could just win the play and string enough of those winning plays together, that you could put up a pretty good quarter and get some momentum moving into next week and going forward. Yeah, you hate to see a 55-game home win streak, which is just unheard of. But you hate to see things like that come to an end. But, you know, this is you're building on something. And, you know what, it was great for them to come out and do the good things they did in the second half. It showed that they just weren't going to roll over onto their back and just give up. They had some fight in them, and a great job by the coach staff in coaching them up to do that.
As trying to get a word from Coach Rogers down on the field, let's go down to Clark, who's standing by with the head coach.
Coach, not the situation that you wanted to be in, but you had to have a little bit of pride in the way you came out of the locker room and won the second half, just not by enough.
Yeah, I think we made some adjustments at the halftime, and we're able to come out with a little bit better approach and execute offensively and defensively. And so we'll find the positives and assess the negatives and try to put ourselves in a situation that improve and get ready for week 3.
And you talk all the time about we want to learn through victory, not defeat, but learning is the most important thing. Did you see what you wanted to see in the learning department from last week to this week?
Oh, I can probably find some optimism in it reviewing the video tomorrow. It's never as good as it is. It's never as bad as it is. And so we'll look at that, and we'll accentuate the positives and focus on drilling and improving the negatives and go from there.
I think Robert had a question for you as well.
Well, one of the things that we saw tonight was just, the kids just did not, they didn't roll over. We've been talking about so much, and that's one of the things that's always been a staple for Argyle. When you come out in the second half and you win the second half, is there anything in particular you're going to really rally these kids around to propel them and go forward into next week and beyond?
Well, the outcome of the game is still negative. We want to focus on positive plays, and we'll look at those and we'll try to get more of them next week. I don't subscribe to that fact is that there's too much to be learned from losing. I think there's an incredible amount of experience. There's lots of tradition of success here. We did really well in 5A last year, and we've got to find that, and we've got to be preaching that. The standards are high, the expectations are high. The kids want to achieve at the very highest level, and so I'm going to keep pushing them. The preparation, the goals are still the same. Win a state championship, all right, win district, and play in December. And so we're still working towards those goals. Those haven't changed.
Coach, I got one question for you up here in the booth. Thank you for your time here in the post game. But Lovejoy, obviously a potent offense, but your defense did miss a couple of assignments there, leaving some open receivers. When you see that, are you close defensively, or do you chalk that up to a really good Lovejoy offense? I'm curious your immediate takeaway there.
Well, we do a lot of things defensively. That's the strategy of the defense. We have smart kids, and we do a lot of positive things. But occasionally, due to frustration and injury and getting your eye poked out and bleeding and all those factors of a football game, you don't quite get the checks made, and Lovejoy was able to take care of it. We played so many plays successfully there on that series and the series prior that, there's a lot of positive there, and then they were able to get us in a bad situation with a formation, and we turned one loose. In years past, we were able to get some pressure on the quarterback and that not be an issue. But, yeah, we're gonna assess it, and we're going to practice the crap out of it this next week and make sure the next team doesn't do that to us.
Coach, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And that's Coach Todd Rogers here in the post game as Argyle falls to Lovejoy 42-14. As most impressively, let's go back. That's 55 straight home wins here at Eagle Stadium. Last loss back in 2012, and we've said this before. We're spoiled, Robert, right? That a home loss feels so weird and mysterious. It just doesn't quite sit right, and that's the standard that Coach Rogers has set here at Argyle, and it's something to be proud of. But you just lost to a really, really good team there in Lovejoy.
You're exactly right. Is that 55 games and 11 years since you've been on the losing end in this field, and you know what? Streaks end. Nothing, and they're there. Streaks and records are made to be broken. It's just time to start another one. But granted, you got beat pretty good last week. You got beat pretty good again this week. But just like Coach Rogers said, this is a building opportunity. This is a learning opportunity. This opportunity for these young kids, this young team, to come out and go, you know what? We're not used to this. This sting, this hurts. We're going to come out and maybe this week and practice and even do more than what we have. And I think you'll see a very fired up, very motivated, very driven team come out against Grapevine next week. And I shudder to think about what happens in that game. Is it Grapevine next week? I'm sorry.
Yes.
That's what I thought. I don't know if I'd want to be a Mustang in week 3.
No, that game will be here next Friday night, as Argyle will face Grapevine. But let's wrap this one up here in the Park Place post-game show, as looking at some of the numbers. Total yards the way of Lovejoy, as Lovejoy puts up 504 yards, 348 through the air, 156 on the ground. Argyle 199 total yards, 136 through the air and 63 on the ground, but they're both touchdowns came on the ground. Looking at some individual stats, beginning with Argyle. John Gailey, 11 of 27 tonight, 136 yards. Rushing, Devin Owen, 21 attempts. Well, he towed the rock a lot, didn't he? 21 carries for Devin Owen, 69 yards. John Gailey, 2 carries for 11 yards, 2 touchdowns. A pretty good hit right there for John Gailey finding the end zone. Jake Kreckler, 3 carries for 10 yards. Beckham Kimbrell got a carry for 2. Preston Slayton had 4 and lost a couple. And John Gailey got sacked a few times, which knocked his rushing total down. Receiving, Will Krysiak, 2 for 46. Hunter McFall, 5 for 33. Will Hodson had a catch for 26. McGuire Gasperson had 1 for 21. And Jake Kreckler had 1 for 4. I think McGuire had 2 catches, I believe, if I'm remembering right. Lovejoy, offensively, individual stats. Alexander Franklin, Hondo, 23 of 34 for 348 yards and 4 touchdowns. He's had quite the start to the 2023 season following a 5-touchdown effort against College Station in the Tom Landry Classic last week. Kalen Williams, 14 carries for 91 yards. Dante Dean, 11 for 70. Peyton Pierce, the Ohio State commit, 6 carries for 19 yards and a touchdown. Jalen Lott got a carry for a yard, and Franklin was sacked a couple times. Receiving, Dante Dean, 5 receptions for 104 yards and a touchdown. Dalen McCutcheon had 6 catches, 88 yards and 2 touchdowns, including a really nice one-handed grab for a 5-yard touchdown. Parker Livingston didn't play a ton tonight, but did get 5 catches for 52 yards, including a really nice one-handed snag along the left sideline. Ridge Barker with a catch for 36 yards. Ethan Nelson, 3 catches for 29 yards. Jalen Lott, 2 for 21, including a touchdown. And Bear Tinney, 2 catches for 18 yards. So, Clark and Robert, let's wrap this one up. Argyle had a little confidence there in the third quarter. Overall, you do win the second half. Now, part of it is some human element, as Lovejoy led at the break, 35-0. But as we wrap this one up here in the Park Place postgame show, looking ahead to next week, there are a few things that you can build on. And I know Coach hates learning through a loss, but you've got to right now. And you got to start stacking some good games here before district play starts.
Right. And, losing stinks. Nobody likes to lose. And but, frankly, you don't learn by winning all the time. And I know you want to learn through winning, but you don't learn by winning all the time, and you're going to have to take some of these lumps and figure it out. And the guys did a great job of coming out after halftime, making adjustments, and doing some really good things to, as you said, win the half. And so, yes, Lovejoy, a fantastic team over there. Give them all of the credit in coming out here and executing their game plan to almost near perfection. But what we can do is we can go through, we can look at the tape after this game and build on it and come out next week, hopefully correcting some of these mistakes and working on some of the timing and some of the timing routes and some of the overthrows and correcting those things so that when you come down to the end of pre-district play and then go into district play, you're hopefully clicking on all cylinders. But coming out today, hopefully Devin comes out limping. Hopefully he's going to be okay. We didn't have a ton of or any injuries, bad injuries tonight. Prayers go up for the young man from Lovejoy that was injured in the first half. But hopefully we can come out of this healthy and move into next week.
And I see a lot of growth here. I just had a chance to talk to John Gailey. He really showed us a lot coming out in the second half. First half, it is almost like he put it behind him. You got to have that short memory, and he was very methodical throughout the whole game. And I really see him maturing and growing into being a great quarterback as the season goes on. I also got to talk to Max Bland. This position change, he's really grasped it really well, and it allows him to be more of an instinct player and just seek out the ball, and he did a really good job. And I can't wait to see him. And he's only a sophomore, so we got 2 more years. He's got the rest of his sophomore year and then his junior and senior year. He's going to be just a phenomenal player, and I'm looking forward to seeing him grow.
Yeah, a lot to be proud of. It's a young team, and with a young team, you're going to have growing pains, and this is a part of it. You've lost to the #1 team in the state, Melissa, and now a top 5 team in the state, Lovejoy, and those are 2 very formidable opponents under really, really good coaches. So that's going to do it for our Park Place post-game show tonight, and it was fun. Robert, thank you. Clark, it's always fun, and thank you guys for riding shotgun with me tonight. It was a blast. So that's going to do it for our post-game show, as Argyle loses to Lovejoy 42-14, their first home loss since 2012. Quite the run there for your Argyle Eagles. For Clark McNulty on the sideline, for Jack Brown, our producer, engineer, for Eric Capper, our spotter, Robert Hudgens on color, I'm Blake Jones, saying thank you very much, and a special shout out to the Talon crew for making our YouTube broadcast possible under Stacy Short. Once again, Lovejoy on top of Argyle tonight, 42-14. Until next week when Argyle hosts Grapevine, be good, or be good at it.
This Argyle Eagles Booster Club broadcast has been brought to you by the following: Lori Jacobson with the Legacy Group, Rapid Med Urgent Care, Park Place Lexus and Land Rover Grapevine, YourNewDoor.com, Rustico Grill in 1845 Taste, Texas, and our title sponsor, 407 Barbecue. This broadcast is also copyrighted by the authority of the University Interscholastic League for the private use of our audience. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Any other use of this broadcast without express written consent from Argyle High School is strictly prohibited.